beautiful day for footy on a good deck as well. Glenn Hill is our man on boundary today. Hilly, welcome.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Splendid day, isn't it?
Certainly is. It's a great day. A little windy. There'll be a huge advantage with the wind, and I'll talk about that a little closer to the game. But I've just had a look at the deck, and it looks fantastic. The conditions are really good, considering the amount of rain we've had the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. This ground's held up very well.
It's a beautiful day for footy. That wind you speak of, it actually did pick up. We had a women's game earlier today that was between Carlton and Williamstown. Carlton got the win there. Just picked up at times a breeze. Is it favouring any particular end? Is it coming across the ground? What's it sort of doing at the moment?
It certainly does feel like it's coming across the ground. It will be favouring the left of screen for all our VFL Live viewers. And it is ripping across the ground, coming across the grandstand on the other side. But there will be some sort of favour to the left of screen.
So Williamstown out there warming up. They've just come off the ground. The Northern Blues are out there. They'll be wearing their all-navy kits today. Adam Sarri-Coglu, Anthony Stangitz and Glenn Hill. We did have 2 games yesterday. The winners were Werribee by a point in a thriller on the TV game at Avalon Airport Oval and at Richmond. So good day to be a Tiger yesterday in the Peter Jackson VFL. But as we said, plenty of games around the grounds. Let's take a look at what we have got. The Casey Demons taking on Footscray. That's a big clash to look forward to at Casey Fields.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Casey, they're well positioned at the moment come this time of season. We've known them as a finals regular. And in that second spot, they're trying to work on that percentage to try and claim top spot from the Richmond Football Club. But Richmond obviously getting the win and a bit of a boost to their percentage yesterday. But a really important clash for Footscray. They're part of that log jam of teams all on 7 wins.
Yep, so there's 6 of them as we speak.
Yeah, majority of them playing today. So you got Essendon, Box Hill, Collingwood, Williamstown, Port Melbourne, so barring Collingwood. But they need to keep in contact with those teams, and Casey's going to be a big challenge for them. Casey really, with a win today, go a step closer to locking in that double chance and locking in a top 4 spot. So with plenty of players pushing for selection for the Melbourne team, they've had like a couple of changes. Jay Kennedy Harris has got the AFL duties nod finally after a superb vein of form, I think, at VFL level over the last couple of months. Be interesting to see how he was played yesterday. Didn't get to catch the match for Melbourne, but whether he played a similar role that he's been playing at VFL level. But good to see him get a opportunity there. 2
of the clubs in that 7 and 5 bracket at the moment. Box Hill is hosting Port Melbourne. White Horse Road there.
Yeah, Box Hill over the last month hasn't had the best form line and have been slowly dropping down the ladder. For Port Melbourne, bouncing back in an important win against Williamstown in the last round. And I've just, Hilly, I don't know about you, but I've loved the clashes between Box Hill and Port Melbourne. They're always close. They're always fever pitch. There's always a couple of stories to come out of them. I think Alistair Clarkson a couple of years ago was one of the major ones to come out of that game. But, yeah, plenty of fun and plenty of stories to come out of those matches.
Both powerhouse clubs of the competition. And I would expect Port Melbourne to really push Box Hill today. I think they have turned the corner a little bit. It's been a tough year for them in terms of their home ground and the turnover of some very experienced players. But there's been some really good signs for them along the journey, and I think they'll push Box Hill very seriously today.
Hilly, there's a game down near your neck of the woods. Sandringham is hosting Geelong. That's back-to-back road trips for the Cats. Would have had to go to the other side of the bay.
Yes, but I would think the Cats would be too strong in that game today. Sandringham really struggled and were very lucky to get away with a draw against Coburg last week. Unfortunately, the trainer ran through the mark and gifted Sandringham a goal to ensure a draw for Sandringham on that particular occasion. But I would think the Cats would be way too strong for Sandringham today. I've had a look at the lineups, and they've got a lot of experienced AFL players in their lineup, and I think they'll be too strong.
Yeah, that's a key difference with Geelong and some other teams. By the way, today for the Northern Blues, only 6 AFL listed players that I've got here on my sheet fact, I'll bump that one up to 8, actually, Hilly. 8 AFL-listed players for the Northern Blues. But last week we had Geelong beat Frankston and a large number of AFL players playing for the Cats that day. The final game, and it's probably the closest one of the day potentially on paper, it is Coburg taking on Frankston.
Yes, and Frankston certainly had their measure earlier in the season, and I would have thought it would go the same sort of way today, but Coburg are certainly up and about after their great performance last week. Getting the draw, they should have got the win last week. Just unlucky circumstances there at the end of the game. But I would have thought Frankston just got a slightly stronger lineup just at the moment. Coburg certainly have got some talented players that are developing fast under Lee Adams. But yeah, I would have thought Frankston would be too strong in that game.
Frankston does have 2 wins. We know Coburg winless, but Coburg has a better percentage, which can be an indicator sometimes.
Yes, it can be an indicator, but I would say that Frankston have had slightly better year than Coburg at the moment.
Yeah, and we saw the change in jumpers last week for the Frankston Football Club, wearing the
very good too.
The donor jumpers. Coburg today wearing their Indigenous jumpers, so celebrating NAIDOC week and wearing their Indigenous jumpers. So they're going to have a welcome to country ceremony prior to the game, and I reckon the Lions will be hurting from last week's draw. So they would have thought. I know they came back from a fair way back. To get the draw in the end, and Sandringham levelling the scores after the siren. But I think, Coburg will be hurting, and they'll be able to, fight back and get that first win of the season today.
A quick break here on Peter Jackson, VFL Live, not far away from the start. Northern Blues taking on at Williamstown. It's a 2 p.m. bounce. Back after this.
Your Peter Jackson VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
It's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer.
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au.
And upgrade to digital.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN. 2. Jamie Wickup first. Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Not far away from the start here at Icon Park. It is the Northern Blues taking on Williamstown. If the Blues are, well, they're 2-9, they're probably going to really struggle to end up in that final 8. They're going to have to have a magnificent run to get there. Williamstown is 7th at 7-5. Adam Sarikoglu, Anthony Stangitz and Glenn Hill on the coverage today on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Round 15 action between the Blues and the Seagulls. Blues still in their huddle. Seagulls on their way out onto the ground. 6 changes each for both these sides. Peter Fawkes, Tom Schneering, Dalen Kempster, Mitch Norton, Lockie Bramble, and 23rd man Fletcher Carroll all into the side today for the Seagulls after pretty disappointing loss to Port Melbourne last week. And for the Northern Blues, they welcome back 6 players as well. Levi Casbolt, though, making his first, his season debut at VFL level for the Blues. Fraser Pearce, Nick Graham, Kim LeBoy, Angus Schumacher and Aaron Mullett, all not featuring in their most recent game, which was 2 weeks ago against Werribee.
Last game in 2015, I believe, for Levi Casbolt. So playing his 46th senior game for the Northern Blues and 50th game overall for the Blues, playing 4 Development League games as well for him.
So not far away from a start here at Icon Park. Here it is, the first bounce, and here's Anthony Stangitz.
Welcome to our viewers on VFL.com.au or listening in on the VFL website, the app or Aussie Digital. Trying to get the first tap out of the way. Lobie up against Meese. It's going to be a great contest. As talking about Meese, gets a kick inside forward 50. Rodder gets the free kick. Up against Cam O'Shea. Nick Rodder. I reckon we see him in a different position, forward or back, on a weekly basis, depending on the team that they're playing. This week starting off in the forward line. Doesn't kick a huge amount of goals, but just his defensive pressure and presence up in the forward line is a major difference when he is playing down there. Let's see what he can do with his first shot at goal for the game. Nick Rodder kicking from just inside the forward 50 arc. Perfect start for Williamstown. Kicking to the left of screen during this first term. They are 1 goal straight 6 with Northern Blues yet to score.
Really hot start from Williamstown and Nick Rodder kicking that first goal. He's been an amazing find for Williamstown. He's been sensational this season, and this is about my 3rd or 4th opportunity to watch him in person. And he's been one of the most impressive forwards I think we've seen in the competition. Would you agree, boys?
No, he's had an outstanding season. The man from Darley back in the middle. What a quick start it was for the Seagulls. Did get the win earlier in the season against the Blues. This one's not coming out. Still inside the centre square. Nick Meese against his old side today. Umpire throws it up. Here's Wilson. Left the ball behind there. Still managed to keep it in front of him. Just couldn't really gather possession. Umpire crosses his arms once more.
He and the captain returning home at a mark on as well. Very familiar with the surrounds of Icon Park.
There's been a little bit of player movement between these two clubs in recent years. Charleston ran into a brick Northern Blues wall, and that forces another stoppage. Good tackle from Sam Fisher. As the umpire throws it up, we go one more time, and finally a clearing ball here. High ball from Mark-on. Rodder only went one-handed to that one. Good pressure, couldn't take the mark. Pickers did well to feed the ball out. And by hand, Williamstown get inside 50. Kavara with the finish on the left. Only worth 1 point. 1-1-7-0.
Looking forward to the matchup of Nick Graham and Michael Gibbons in today's clash. Graham continuing good form at VFL level, but just unable to replicate it in that AFL side for Carlton from the kick in. Meeting the ball was Kerr. Another player that's had a taste of AFL this season for the Blues. Ball up. 60 metres out from the Williamstown goal. Meese with the tap down, trying to burst his way that to Federico from a Northern Knight. Kick forward. Good work by Norton. Chain of handballs working their way. Lynch. Now coming out, Pickus. Ball heading towards the boundary line. The umpire going to call up for a ball up. And 30 metres round from the Williamstown goal. All in their forward half in the early stages of this term. We've set up our own scoreboard and our time clock here in our broadcast position. Because our man that used to do the scoreboard there, right where the camera's positioned at the moment,
he's gone missing.
He's not here, missing in action. Had to ask Len Villani what has happened to him. The ball inside, Rodder again. Get his hands down. Here's a great opportunity for Williamstown. And their second goal quickly through and put it straight through the middle. Pickus kicks his first. Williamstown their second. And quite quickly they move on to 2-1-13 to Northern Blues yet to score. Hilly just making the most of their opportunities early, the Seagulls.
Might have already lost Hilly there. Can't get Hilly at the moment. We'll try and fix that issue. We can see him, Anthony. We can't hear him.
I can see him talking too.
Might have stepped out of range. Might need to get him closer toward the bench maybe. Back live. Graham over the top of the ball, but there is a whistle. Umpire downfield spots a free kick, and it's all going the Seagulls' way at the moment. Kavara quick to get it back inside 50. Rodder, but had a blue in front of him. No mark was taken. There was a push according to the umpire. Play continued for a moment, but the ball does have to come all the way back to Mason Blakey. Inside defensive 50. It's one lead on offer, and he goes to that option at Sam Fisher. And then he'll go short. No mark was taken. Not a great ball that time, and Masters did well. Wins it back, looking for Schultz in the goal square. Gets a hand on it, then the soccer. There was a whistle. It's a free kick against Lockie Schultz, last line of defence. I think we've got Hilly back.
Wasn't much in that free kick there. Very lucky the Blues didn't concede a third goal.
So this is a virtual kick-in situation. Goes broadcast side, and Masters in the right spot. Poor kicking early by the Blues, proving costly. And now Lee Masters on the outskirts of 50. Looks like he's thinking about a shot.
Yeah, he should have no trouble with the distance here, Adam. He's a tremendous kicker of the football, and I've seen him kick many a goal at Williamstown from outside 50, and with the breeze just coming across his right shoulder, he should be able to bend this back right to left.
Has 6 goals to his name this year. Can establish an early 19-point lead for the Seagulls. Kicks on the way, perfectly weighted. And another one for the Seagulls, 3-1-19. Northern Blues not only yet to score, I don't think they've been inside 50 yet.
Yeah, it's a really ominous start here from Williamstown, and we didn't talk about our tips pre-game, but certainly my tip would have been a strong Williamstown performance today. They're coming off the loss to Port Melbourne last week, and you can see the fire in their eyes. They're out to atone for their loss, and they've been very impressive in the last month or so, Williamstown, and they've certainly put the foot down early here.
Round the ground's good start for Port Melbourne against Box Hill. Goals to Khan Haratuku and Jordan Lyle. That's 2 straight 12. Box Hill yet to score.
Ball up back in the middle. Icon Park today. Williamstown with the strong start in this clash. The Blues lead in the race for the football on this broadcast side wing. Graham kicks up towards right half forward. Good defensive effort by the Seagulls. That was good work by Tippett. His direct opponent, Velasaris, will have a boundary throw-in. Between wing and half forward for the Blues. Still trying to get inside their forward 50. But handball over the top. They're working well, the Seagulls. 2-on-1 contest, but O'Shea leading in the race for the football that time. Handball's over the top. Stavrou down the line along the broadcast side wing. And Greiser back with the flight of the ball.
What did you see, Hilly?
Wow. Levi Casbolt's just used his body.
No, we just lost you again there, but Tippett v Casbolt today. We'll keep an eye on that matchup. I don't know whether the two would have gone head-to-head at AFL level or not. Fox is another player coming in. So they're doing the 2-on-1 on Casbolt already. Fox just that loose man in defence. So we have a boundary throw in broadcast side wing.
Meese, that time, got in front of Lobby. And a ball up to follow up the boundary throw in. It's almost at right half forward here for the Northern Blues. It hasn't been for them today. Ball thrown up, ground level. It's eventually picked up, but the handball was wayward. Turnover, and the Blues get it back. It's Graham. Just a little chip over the top. That's a good kick and a good mark as well. It's Velasaris that has it. John Luke Velasaris toward the hot spot. Ball gets fisted away. Clean bowled lob out the back to Nell. Gets it back for the Seagulls. Interesting handball for Bewley. He coughed up the ball. Now left foot's on the way. It's a wayward ball, unless it's marked right on the line by Kerr. It is, but a very tough angle for him to have a shot from. They just need to get a score on the board here, preferably 6. So we're 9.5 minutes in. They've already given up 3 goals here to Northern Blues. So Patrick Kerr, right foot snap, and that's not a great ball. That is barely even sneaking in for a behind, but it is their first score of the afternoon, 1 behind to 3-1-19.
So an opportunity for the Seagulls to bring the ball back into attack. Coming along this broadcast side wing, which we like here at Icon Park. Punch away. That was Palmer on Donnell. That'll be a great matchup as well. Jolly in the middle. Charging towards game, what is it now? 300 is next target that he's aiming for. Got the game's record at Williamstown. Continues his march up the most games in the VFA, VFL. Schneering working hard. Ball going nowhere, and we'll have another ball up. 50 metres out from the Northern Blues goal. Did well getting through the previous game, calling the VFL women's team Carlton. I've just got to get through this game, calling the Northern Blues. Let's see how we go. The handball comes out. Williamstown off the half-back line again. Very strong. They look to go out wide. Leading in the race for the football's Pearce. Up against Pickus, the goal kicker. Palmer along the outer side wing. Folks, good punch away. Well, could have been taken too high. Umpire didn't think so, and we'll have a ball up on the outer side. See the sign in the background blowing in the breeze, so having a strong effect on the game early.
Around the ground's good start between Sandringham and Geelong, 2 straight apiece. So 4 goals in that game already.
And James Warple kicking the first for the Box Hill Hawks. They trail by a goal. Port Melbourne kicking the first 2 of that clash through Lyle and also Haratuku. So Geordie Lyle continuing his reign at the top of the Frosty Miller medal. Extending his lead now up the top. The ball heads towards the boundary line. Free kick found, and will go the way of the Seagulls.
Gibbons has it. Out a wing. Points in a direction toward which he'll kick. Goes towards a Nell. Almost clunked it. No mark taken in the end. Kick was smothered off a boot. Now trying to come crashing through Stavrou. It's a high-pressure footy, this one. Ball eventually does spill out. Daylan Kempster takes the mark. Too far out to score. Quick hands off to Gibbons. Inside the square. High ball inside 50. Rodder. Big mark. Directly in front. And we'll have a shot from 40.
Just keeps presenting, doesn't he, Adam? He's sensational. And here he goes again. Another pack mark. Can really set Williamstown alight.
Kicked 1 last week against Port Melbourne. Already has 1 today. He's right in the middle of the corridor here. He can establish a 24-point lead for the Seagulls. Comes in. Careful right foot ball. Goal umpire not really working too far one way or the other. And that is goal number 4 for the Seagulls. Nick Rodder has 2 for the afternoon. 13 gone opening term.
Just a little injury update on the boundary line, boys. Kim LeBoyce has just re-entered the game, but he has had a few fitness tests in the last few minutes and seems to have sustained a back injury. So just keep an eye on him as this quarter goes on.
Keep an eye on Angus Schumacher as well. I reckon he's on restricted minutes today as well for the Blues. Probably won't be cited until the second term.
So ball back in the middle. Early lead to Williamstown in this clash. The ball goes up towards left half forward. Mark, not taken in the end. Hill goes long inside forward 50. Tippett will mop up. Gets his handball away. They've got the numbers. Good work by Williamstown getting the ball out of side of defensive 50. Up towards Donnell territory. Didn't make it far enough for him as the Blues kick in short. They got the numbers as they go inside forward 50 again. Tippett just sweeping across. They'll let to go now across goal. Good work from Jolly. Kick it in short, Gibbons. Up towards Rodder territory again. Blakey now got the job on him. Good work by Rodder. Blakey over the football and we'll have a ball up. On this broadcast side wing, 24 points the margin in favour of Williamstown. Early in this clash, coming over towards the 15-minute mark of the term. Good tackle by Ben Jolly. And he has been rewarded on this broadcast side wing.
Around the grounds, a goal on the board for Coburg. Hisham Kabadia with that goal, 1-4-10. Frankston one behind, that one's at Piranha Park. So Jolly comes off his line. Remember, 4 other games around the grounds today, so plenty to keep an eye on across the Peter Jackson VFL. Schultz takes the mark beyond 50. Kick toward the pocket. Beautiful pass. And Lee Masters can have a shot in the right forward pocket. Angle might be his only headache here.
That wind just will be coming right off his shoulder there, so he might have a straighter kick than you would in most situations on the ground. So that wind is certainly coming from across the grandstand there, so it might not be as difficult as we think.
All right, so Lee Masters pokes at that one and goes across the face. 4-2-26 to 1 behind. 16 gone.
From the kick in, Blues bring it back to this broadcast side. Wing again, Meese over the top. Good work by Markon. Kicks inside forward 50s. Target was Schultz that he wanted. Now Schneering kicks towards goal, but O'Shea takes the mark. Still inside defensive 50, the Blues. Need to do a fair bit of work to get it up into their forward line, but the mark taken at the back by Monk. So the 2 Blues players going for the footy. Monk just staying at the back. Now he gets it inside forward 50. Donnell couldn't take it. Rodder. Umpire thought about in the back free kick. Elects not to, and we'll have a ball up 30 metres out from the Williamstown goal. Rodder 2 goals in this first turn. Here's another opportunity for the Seagulls. They bullock their way forward. Now just 25 metres out from goal. Another opportunity. Markon gets himself up off the back of the bottom of the pack. Running with him is Fisher. Nick Graham now leads in the race for the football. Got it to Palmer. They move it back as Wilson gets a long kick to the broadcast side wing. Buckwell couldn't take it. They'll set up again, the Seagulls. At the back, Dorgan got it off to Folks. Now to Gibbons. Gibbons goes wide. And in the safe hands of Bewley. Bewley up towards half forward. Donnell needs to work for it. Williamson up against him. Oh, here's a chance. Good tackle. Lobe now. Under plenty of pressure, the Blues from defensive 50. Graham goes back to Blakey. They've lost about 50 metres in this play. Now they'll settle things down, and Graham takes the mark at half-back.
So the kick to clear defensive 50, that's okay. Lynch takes the mark, gets it off quickly, and now just a kick from Fisher, tackled off it and coughed up the ball to Fawkes, gets the hand pass out, and now the Seagulls into attack, and Danell had plenty of space. Took the mark well ahead of his fellow number 3, Jesse Palmer. 45-degree angle, and he might be thinking about a shot. We'll have to kick it from beyond the arc.
Should be able to kick the distance today, Adam. From that breeze at his back, should certainly be able to kick the distance.
So the margin's 25 points. He is still waiting for the Northern Blues' first goal of the game. Only had one shot. That was Patrick Kerr. Danell managed to actually sneak inside 50. It's a beautiful kick. Put absolutely everything into it. Didn't give an inch. And it's a goal for the Seagulls. Number 5, 5-2-32. Northern Blues one behind, approaching time on opening term.
Yeah, really impressive start from Williamstown. They've just controlled the midfield at the moment, and the Blues just can't get enough inside 50. So they're going to have trouble kicking a score at the moment into the breeze, but give them quarter time and give them a chance with the breeze, and let's see whether the Blues can bounce back next quarter.
Well, if you had to look around the grounds and pick the blowout match, we've currently got it. The only other close score, the other close to a blowout, is 16 points the margin in favour of Coburg at home to Frankston. They're 2-5-17, just to the one behind, but a goal separating the other 3 contests around the ground, with Port Melbourne leading Box Hill, Casey leading the Bulldogs, and Geelong leading Sandringham. As Palmer marks in defence for the Northern Blues, puts Blakey under a bit of pressure. He got round it and got through it as they find Federico. Brings along this broadcast side wing. Doesn't make it easy for Pearce. He now picks up the football and goes long. That was Lynch. At the back of the pack, Tippett working hard for the footy. Got his kick away. Casbolt now. Handballs to Graham. Graham inside forward 50. Here's an opportunity for them. McCabe gets the handball off. Myers, what can he do? Needs to pick it up first. Get round the opponent. He can't. As Marcon lays a big tackle. Wasn't able to go anywhere, and we'll have a ball up 40 metres out from the Northern Blues goal.
Bit unlucky not to be rewarded too there, Adam Marcon, for the tackle. He looked to go to ground. It was a good tackle.
Yeah, he had time before the tackle as well. Bewley tackled to the ground. Gibbons. His defensive side has certainly increased this year. Not only getting the possessions, but working hard when the football's not in his hands as well. Ball up. Blues getting the tap down on this occasion. Oh, Santinel. Strong overhead. His direct opponent is Kieran Byrne. Gets round Graham. Kicks up towards centre half forward for the Seagulls. 2-on-1 contest. Rodder couldn't take it. Oh, great defensive pressure by Kavara. Here's an opportunity for the Seagulls now. Kavara, he laid the tackle. He gets the ball back. Can he finish with the goal? No, he can't. One behind. Hits the post. And another behind on the board for Williamstown. They move on to 5-3-33 to the Northern Blues, one behind.
Ball comes broadcast side once more. Wilson, the man underneath it. Almost got outmarked by the 23rd man for Williamstown, Carroll. Hand pass looking for mark on, but he ran out of real estate and was forced out of play by Federico. Boundary throw in. I like your pronunciation, actually. Was it your accent that you...
Federico.
I like that. Boundary throw in. Just beyond at 50. Ollie and Meese won it down. Wilson picked up the loose footy, hacked it forward. That all works out okay. Now it's in the hands of Levi Casbolt. Goes short for Graham. 2 of the 8 AFL listed players out on the ground today for the Blues. As Graham goes up towards half or just over the head of LeBoy and straight down the throat of Monk.
When Casbolt looked up before, there was nothing inside forward 50 for him.
So Marcon has the ball just behind true centre half back. Gave off The quick hands, we go towards the middle. Kick was too hot for Schultz. Turnover. O'Shea goes wide. Not a great ball. Fawkes needed help. Got it by hand. Charleston back to Fawkes. Now he needs to stand and sends a wobbler down the line. Fumbled by Schultz. Did well to lay the tackle though. And forced the stoppage on centre wing.
Very good tackle from Schultz, who's outnumbered there about 4-1. So really good job to lock that up for Williamstown.
Ball up on the broadcast side wing once again. Schneering leading in the race for the football. Trying to raffle it with Norton. Jolly to mark on. Round the corner. And O'Shea read it the best. He'll just settle things down for the Blues. Again, nothing inside forward 50 for them. Oh, second up for the Seagulls, winning the ball every time as Fawkes. Oh, poor kick from Gibbons. Needs to follow that up as Casbolt intercepted. Kerr sees the open forward 50. Bouncing football. Kerr, will it keep on bouncing? Bounced the wrong way to the left-hand side and through for another behind to the Blues. They move on to 2 behinds, 2 points. Williamstown 5-3-33. And we've gone 24 minutes in this first term.
Bewley to himself and then goes down the line. Clears 50 to Nell underneath. Couldn't take the mark. Good pressure from Stavrou. It's picked up here by Penrith. Little kick forward. That was actually effective. And now Mullet with the left foot. They're finally on the board. Northern Blues 1-2-8. Williamstown 5-3-33. It took 24.5 minutes. But Aaron Mullet kicks his first goal. An important one for the Blues.
I think we've lost Tilly down at ground level again. Round the grounds, 21-point lead. Coburg over Frankston. Box Hill Hawks have hit the front. Back-to-back goals. Jackson Ross kicking the latest one. 3 points in front of Port Melbourne. Goal to Casey. They're now 6 points in front of Footscray. And Sandringham 1 point in front of Geelong. Hayden kicking the latest goal to put them in front. As Williamstown go forward again, Donnell been strong early in this contest. Kicks it long, inside forward, 50. Can't find the marking option. 45 metres out from goal. Rodder diving in over the football to try and win it once again. Umpire says, give the ball to me. We will have a ball up. So good work by the Seagulls again, trapping the ball inside their forward 50 arc. Been a great battle. Well, this time it's Kempster going up against Lobe as the Blues from half back through the middle of Icon Park. Starting to put pressure on and moving the ball further afield as Kerr looking for Casbolt. Strong mark at 40, forward 50. Got an open goal square so he can bomb it long if he wants. He's going back. Probably a kick that he would have taken a million times here at training for Carlton. Let's see what he can do with it. 60 metres out. Goes in towards the pocket. Kerr couldn't take the mark. Player diving in across the top of the pack. Wasn't able to get his hands on the football, and we'll have a ball up just 25 metres out from the Northern Blues goal. We'll check in shortly with Healy, whether we've got him back at ground level. Fisher. They're working it well. Myers. And here comes the Seagulls through the middle of Icon Park.
Donnell got his hand pass off. Kavara one way to the other. Did well to hold on to the ball. Very open forward line here. Kicked it toward the run of Bewley. Didn't quite get a kind bounce, and Byrne ended up winning the ball, but the pressure came against Schultz. Did very well. Put Stavrou under a lot of pressure. Hand pass back to O'Shea. Brought down by Rodder. Left forward pocket. We have a ball up inside 50 for the Seagulls. 5-3-33. Blues, they should be 1-2-8. It's not registering on our scoreboard at the moment. Kempster in the ruck here for the Seagulls. Masters, right foot toward the goal square. Donnell takes the mark, and this should be goal number 6 for the Seagulls. Could be his second of the quarter. Shouldn't have any trouble here. Sam Donnell, an outstanding player at this level, has 16 goals for this season. The margin currently at 25 points. Here's Sam Donnell, the ex-Saint, comes in, easy goal. 6-3-39 Williamstown, an outstanding opening term. Northern Blues are 1-2-8. I'm Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
We're still missing Hilly there down at ground level. So replying to that last goal by the Northern Blues, they'd kicked 5 straight to start this clash. They now add their 6th and 2 goals each to Rodder and Donnell. That forward line structure working very well for the Seagulls. I think every time that they've been kept under 10 goals this season, they've had 5 losses. Every time they've kicked 10 goals, they've had a win. So almost on track at the moment towards that 10-goal mark in this clash. As Palmer's moved forward now. Was starting off in defence or floating down into defence. Back up in the forward half now. Hilly, have we got you back down there at ground level? Not as yet. We'll check on you very shortly. Lobe again with the tap down. On the outer side. Go around the grounds very shortly. The complexion of each of those games, barring one, has certainly changed, with Sandringham a couple of points in front of Geelong. Casey kicking the last couple, with Tim Smith kicking another goal. They've gone 12 points up in front of Footscray. Box Hill now 11 points in front of Port Melbourne, with Box Hill kicking the last 3 goals of that clash. And Coburg not enjoying that draw last week. They're out to a 27-point lead. They've kicked the first 4 goals of the game, and they've had 10 scoring shots to 3 in that first quarter for that 27-point lead. Coburg over Frankston. Ball on the outer side as Wilson kicks it up towards left half forward, and a good mark taken. But that is the siren for quarter time, and dominant start to Williamstown. They're certainly hurting after last week's loss to traditional rival Port Melbourne. And they are 6-3-39, would I be correct in saying, to 1-2-8. So 6-3-39 to 1-2-8. Goal kickers up until quarter time. Sam Donnell has 2, Nick Rodder has 2, and singles each to Lee Masters and Josh Pickus. For the Northern Blues, 1 solitary goal scorer for that first term. It stopped a 5-goal run to start the quarter by Williamstown, and it went the way of Aaron Mullett.
So we'll take a break here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Glenn Hill will go into the huddles as long as we fix these mic issues, which I'm not sure why that's happening, unfortunately. But a good start for the Seagulls, 6-3-39. Northern Blues 1-2-8. Back after this on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $8.95. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson. But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it, doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota Top 5 Plays of the Week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wickup first. Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved. Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved. Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
A very good start for the Seagulls. 6-3-39 leading the Northern Blues 1-2-8 at quarter time here at Icon Park. It's round 15 on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Adam Sarikoglu, Anthony Stangetz and Glenn Hill is our man boundary side. I'll actually see if we can get Hilly at the moment. Hilly, you actually coming in? Have we got you back at the moment? No, we don't. We'll try our best to get Glenn Hill while he's in the huddles there. But, Anthony, we've got a couple of games going on around the ground. Some are close and some are blowouts. And looking at some of the live scores we have got there, a very promising start for one particular team that remains winless.
Well, they're picked up where they finished off last week. They streamed home with the final 5 goals of the game, barring Sandringham's equaliser. But 5-goal first term to Coburg up against Frankston. We've seen that a fair bit from the Lions throughout the season, that they do have those one big term of football, but it's putting it together and continuous of back-to-back quarters. So be more inclined to look at their halftime scoreline and be impressed by that rather than just the 5-goal start that they've had up against Frankston. But they've kept them goalless. Box Hill at quarter time after Port Melbourne kicked the first 2 goals of the game. Box Hill's replied with the next 4. 4-6-30 they lead at Port Melbourne 2-1-13. Sandringham, they've also fought back and got a few goal lead up against Geelong. They're now 6-4-40 nearing quarter time to Geelong, 4 goals straight, 24. And Casey Demons at quarter time, 4-1-25, lead Footscray 3-1-19. So differing results right across the grounds. As we said, big Super Sunday of Peter Jackson VFL action with 5 games, all at 2 o'clock and all happening at once. And we've probably got the biggest blowout of all 5 games so far.
What have you made of this opening term that Williamstown have put on? Hilly's told us they've got a bit of a breeze at their backs, but certainly doesn't seem to be a 6-goal breeze or a 5-goal breeze.
Oh, certainly not. It's just those marking options and targets inside forward 50. They've got a really good system. They get it down there. They've got Donnell. At times we've seen him leading up to centre-half back. He's leading that far up, but then he's got the players that are back inside his forward 50. So Rodder's back there. They've got the players streaming down like Ben Cavara that's roving off the packs as well. You look down and it's pretty stagnant for the Northern Blues. They get to the wing area and they've just got nothing to kick to. And when they do kick forward, it's the second man up for Williamstown all the time. You've got Tippett, Folks, these sorts of players are coming over the top and denying any forwards for the Northern Blues an opportunity to mark. So that's the biggest difference at the moment, just those forward options. And they've certainly had plenty of them, the Seagulls, in this first quarter.
Now, if our technology behaves itself, we're going to try and get Hilly to have the chat to Andy Collins. If it doesn't come through, we're just going to have to go over the top. We hopefully will have Hilly now as he does make his way off the ground. Not actually sure we're going to be able to. Puts the headset on. Hilly, have we got you at the moment? No, that's not going to work. We'll have to work on that issue with our boundary mic as we get this second term started here. 6-3-39 Williamstown, Northern Blues 1 at 2-8. It'll be Anthony Stangetz with the start of the second term. Beaming sunshine here at Icon Park. One of 5 games taking place around the Peter Jackson VFL. Some high scoring. Good to see. We've seen a couple of teams kick 4, 5, 6 goals in the opening terms around the grounds. Anthony Stangetz with the second term here on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Well, 6 goals to the left of screen by Williamstown in the first term. Can the Northern Blues replicate that, or is that the strength of the Seagulls? We'll find out during this term as the Blues try and get it out of the middle, head towards what was the scoring end during the first time. Pelisaris got his hands on it. Good work out of defence again by the Seagulls. Going without it. They work it well, the Blues. Inside forward 50 now. Palmer versus Charleston. Palmer from the pocket. What can he do? Kick inside. Mullet. Good defensive effort. Charleston. They got the numbers again, the Seagulls. Gibbons working hard for it. Helped out his teammate and they bring it down the ground. Free kick will go the way. No, it's a free kick to Donnell. Kempster was up in the contest. But Donnell gets the free kick. Ball being held up. Told to play on. Donnell goes long along the broadcast side wing. Good, strong mark taken by the Seagulls and another opportunity to push forward. Bewley, the man to do it, goes inside forward 50 to no particular target. Schultz working hard for it up against Wilson, and Schultz has given away the free kick. Wilson will receive it. And a 50-metre penalty as well. So brings him right up into the middle of Icon Park. All those games that we mentioned are at quarter time now. A kick out wide. Casbolt all by himself on the outer side wing. He kicks inside forward 50, finds Penrith at half forward. Better play by the Blues, dragging the ball up towards their forward half early. Ethan Penrith, another product of the Northern Knights as well. Long towards the top of the goal square. Tippett v Casbolt. Tippett winning that battle. Palmer ducked his head, didn't get the free kick. Graham goes goalward and puts it through. So good start to the second term by the Northern Blues. Nick Graham has his first goal. And the Northern Blues, their second goal of this clash. They move on to 2-2-14. Trailing Williamstown 6-3-39. Looking at the other around the ground scores, as we mentioned, second quarter has started. Another behind on the board for Frankston as they trail Coburg by 33 points. It is that 19-point lead to Box Hill over Port Melbourne, 6-point lead Casey over Footscray, and a 16-point lead to Sandringham over Geelong. Hilly, your thoughts from the quarter-time huddles?
Well, obviously the Northern Blues were unhappy with their first quarter effort, and they'll be looking to set up a different structure here in the second quarter to see if they can cut the deficit.
As Gibbons just puts one to the left-hand side through for one behind. Great to have Hilly back on the broadcast.
Yeah, we missed a few things there in the first quarter, and one thing I wanted to mention was Levi Casbolt. He had an incident on the boundary line where he ran straight through and deliberately collected a Williamstown player who was on the bench. So if that was caught up in the vision, he might have a little case to answer there.
We'll keep an eye on that for our footy ops department during the week. Glenn Hill, welcome back to the broadcast. We'll hear a bit more, hopefully, fingers crossed, from you during this second term. Adam Sarakoglu is back as well.
So Norton off half back. He sends the releasing kick toward the wing, and it's a good one for Schultz, and he keeps on running like he's Schultz. Up towards half forward when looking for Donnell, but not a great ball. Hill in the right spot for the Blues, and now they can attack off half back themselves as Mullet get the good goal in the opening term, went down the line looking for Kerr. Free kick against Buckwell going Kerr's way. Far too far out to score is Patrick Kerr, so he goes inside 50. Just a bit of a nothing kick in the end as Charleston runs into some pressure, taken high. Free kick will go his way. Bit of a clumsy tackle that time by Chris McCabe. So Charleston takes a bounce, goes with the switching ball. Wants Kavara, gets him. Did well to beat Blakey in the aerial contest. Down the line, Pickus, will he keep this one in play? He's got two Blues near him, not quite. And a boundary throw in as Peter Falk sneaks back out onto the ground. Apologies to all our listeners for having some of those technical difficulties, but all back on track now, and Glenn Hill will be back boundary side. Back live, close to the line here. That's Schneering that gets brought to ground. The umpire will cross his arms right next to the boundary line. 2-2-14 to 6-4-40. That's what's happening here at Icon Park. Casey, Box Hill, Coburg and Sandringham leading all their respective games around the grounds as well. On this bumper Sunday of Peter Jackson VFL footy as Williamstown attack once more. Donnell too far out to score. High kick inside 50. It was Schultz getting back. Kick was intended for Kavara, who had front position against Blakey, but a good mark is taken here by Schultz. He's got a tough angle to deal with, though, at the Royal Parade end of the ground. This would be the Gulls' first goal of this second term. Makes his way in. Schultz, right foot ball, missing, hooked it. And it's a minor score. So 6-5-41 playing 2-2-14 on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Here's Anthony Stengers.
Ball to be brought back into play. Or puts their teammate under plenty of pressure, but the Blues do extract it. Casbolt again getting physical out on the ground. That time it was with Schultz. He's, fierce fighting for the football. Casbolt rides Jolly into the ground. Palmer now up against Charleston. Centering kick, one-on-one contest. And great grab that time by Monk. Former Western Jet. I'll take it from defensive 50. Moving it now. Bounce. Just over the head of Pickus. That was out. Carroll just trying to convince the umpire that he still had it in play. It was about a metre out of bounds. I'll have a boundary throw in.
By the way, the Blues took advantage of the ball being so close to the bench. 5 off, 5 on. Glenn Hill's back down there. We've got you, Hilly.
You've got me?
Yes, we've got you. Finally, we're back.
There we go.
Normal business resumes here at Icon Park.
Tap down. Casbolt up against Meese. holding the call, and it will go to Gibbons. Plays on quickly, gets it off to the veteran in Jolly. Jolly, good vision. Found Donnell. Donnell didn't help him out by holding on to the football, but he gets it back to Jolly, back to Gibbons, and Schultz now takes the mark. And he's got an opportunity to rectify his missed kick only a few minutes ago and see whether he can put through his first major of the afternoon for Williamstown.
He's having a very, very good game so far, Hilly.
He certainly is, and what was apparent there was the Blues just not working hard enough to get numbers across to the ball there. They were just totally outnumbered. And they just need to work a little bit harder defensively. Defensive running is very important at this level.
So Lockie Schultz off to the left-hand side once again. So despite him being on the different side of the ground, he's kept to the left-hand side and through for another behind as Williamstown move on to 6:42 to Northern Blues 2-2-14.
Correct weight, ball up, almost on centre wing out of side. It's between wing and half forward for the Seagulls.
Good news for Frankston fans out there. First goal on the board, Harnett, as they still trail by 27 points up against Coburg.
That one's up the road from here at Harding Street.
And for those Port Melbourne fans out there as well, they kicked the first two. They saw Box Hill kick the next 6 goals in a row, but Khan Haratuku's kicked his second, so that margin back to 25 points against the Box Hill Hawks.
Schneering had to go through his legs. Did well with his tackling pressure.
Don't be surprised today, boys, if those scores fluctuate quite dramatically. It is quite windy, and certain grounds, in particular Coburg, will have a strong breeze to one end. So just look for those scores to go up and down throughout the day.
Yeah, on the way it's blowing here, I dare say it's going toward Harding Street.
One of those grounds as well would be Casey Fields, and Footscray have taken the lead as Guevara takes the mark in the forward pocket. I think it's been paid the free kick, not the mark. And here's an opportunity to, well, show Lockie Schultz how it's done from a tight angle.
And Patrick Kerr.
Yes.
He missed one from here.
And Ben Guevara laps up these ones. He loves them. Let's see what he can do with it. Haven't seen him kick a major today. The key forwards have been the ones that have put it through. He has put it through. Blues player was on the line, but probably a bit far behind the line. He should have been a few steps forward. And Ben Guevara on the board for this afternoon. And now the 7th has gone through for Williamstown. They move on to 7-6-48 to the Northern Blues, 2-2-14. And we have ticked over to
11 and a half minutes
in the second term.
I'll be on clock duty if you like.
Thanks, Adam. And again, finally, Hilly making up for some of those missed opportunities for Seagulls, because they've dominated since the early stages where the Blues kicked their first goal of the term.
Yeah, they certainly have, and they're right on top in all facets of the game, so it's really hard to see at the moment where the Northern Blues are going to bridge the gap.
Graham to Wilson. Quick hands off. Schumacher had to give it back to Wilson. A little grubber kick. Won't go too far here. Norton over around the ball. The boys had Norton all over him. Somewhere among all that humanity is a Sharon. The umpire will extract it and throw it back up in the air, and we'll start again. 7-6-48, playing 2-2-14 halfway through this second term as Wilson goes toward the goal square, holding, and it looks like a free kick will go the Northern Blues' way. A shot on goal. You know, very, very, very good spot here. And I think that's McCabe that has it.
And he's shown a little bit so far. He's been one of the shining lights for the Northern Blues. He's had plenty of early touches there in the first quarter and a chance to kick a goal here. Get the Northern Blues underway in this second quarter. They just haven't hit their straps at all.
Again, plenty of changes for the Blues as this shot's in progress. for Chris McCabe. Comes in, right foot ball. Didn't put much on it, didn't need to. And it's all clear for a goal. 3-2-20 to 7-6-48.
Williamstown defender looking for a free kick there in the goal square for shepherding. What was your take on that, boys? I didn't have the best angle on it from where I am.
Yeah, not sure. My eyes were on the footy. So.
I think it was a bit of push and shove from both of them.
Okay.
So the umpire was in a good position to be able to see what was going on, and a goal counts. So that important third goal on the board for the Northern Blues. As we said, they dominated play early in the term. Then Williamstown has certainly turned it in their direction for the last probably 7 or 8 minutes. They were able to score a goal out of it. So 2-1 this term as Wilson. Long kick inside forward 50. Great work by the Blues. Can they go back to back? They certainly can. They put through their 4th goal of the game, and that one going the way of McCabe, putting together back-to-back goals as well. And they now move on to 4-2-26, trailing Williamstown 7-6-48. Now score service on our board, just waiting to catch up with those last 2 goals, but McCabe kicking both of them.
Very timely goals there for the Blues to stay in the contest, because Williamstown are well and truly on top. So look for Williamstown to strike back here.
22-point ball game, Icon Park. Peter Jackson, VFL live. Meeks won it down. And overrunning at that time, Kavara picked up by Loeb. A high ball toward the outer wing. McCabe, the double goal kicker, just missed it that time. The ball got socked forward. Blakey leading Kempster to this one. It just spills out of play. Boundary throw in. Left half forward for the Seagulls. Jack Charleston doing some run-throughs on the bench for Williamstown, not far away from Hilly, just to his left as we speak.
Just for our VFL women's supporters out there, quarter time. Hawthorn 1-1-7 lead Melbourne Uni, yet to score. And in the other match, it was Richmond 4 behinds leading Casey, yet to score in at quarter time. Up at Queen Elizabeth Oval, a venue well known in the past to our VFL fans.
Most recently with the Bendigo Gold, of course, as Buckwell, hand pass comes back, and now Greiser goes switching, looking for Kavara. Couldn't quite get there in the end. It's well picked up here for the Blues by Byrne and sends it towards half forward. That's okay. Balasaris takes the mark, leads on offer from LeBoy. Chipper over the top. LeBoy's going to let it bounce out of play. Good pressure coming back that time from Lane Buckwell. Boundary throw in left forward pocket for the Northern Blues, who are having a good little run here at the moment. Margin's 22 points.
If you're a Williamstown or Blues fan, there's plenty of room in the stadium today to get down here. Still good footy on offer.
Perfect day for footy, especially in the middle of July, as the Seagulls will repel this ball back out. Zanel couldn't take the mark as Schumacher got in the way. Couple of handballs. Byrne gets it to Graham. Switching pass. Bounced off the chest of Penrith, but he might have time to recover. Gets it in the middle of Icon Park. Did well, Penrith. The kick went 2 metres and it actually hit a target. O'Shea goes inside 50. Bouncing ball. Fawkes with the double fist. Has a little bit of pressure around him. McCabe has Fawkes right there with him. It goes out of play and a boundary throw in. Just inside 50 for the Northern Blues. They get another one and it's game on here at Icon Park.
That'd have to go down as the shortest kick we've seen so far this year in VFL footy.
It certainly wasn't intended to land that way, but it was remarkable. O'Shea was right there. Ball stuck to his hands and effectively did the job. Wilson sends the Blues back inside 50. Fawkes in position 1A. Takes the mark. Around the grounds. Coburg, Box Hill, Footscray and Sandringham are your leaders. Close games between the Bulldogs and the Demons, as well as Sandringham only a 2-point lead over the Cats. The blowouts are with Box Hill dominating Port Melbourne, and Coburg still maintaining a 5-goal lead against Frankston.
Maybe they're not in the ground here today, Hilly, because they're up in the chopper watching from a higher point.
Yeah, we've got spectators from all angles today.
We certainly have.
So a blood rule has forced Lobe off the ground. That's a fair bit of claret coming from, can't actually tell Hilly, but it's all over his face at the moment.
Just getting a better angle now, and yeah, he's cut himself right open there. They'll be working on that quickly. He's certainly got a lot of blood streaming from his face.
So the Blues actually are going to have a shot on goal here. The mark has been set right on 50 for Patrick Kerr.
And you would think Paddy Kerr could kick the distance from here. It's a pretty prodigious kick of the football.
Probably get plenty of practice during the week here as well.
Certainly would. And that breeze swinging the ball right to left. He aims out towards the right goal post with a penetrating kick. I think he could slot this one through.
You just heard Glenn Hill. Here's what Patrick Kerr delivers. A shank toward the top of the square. No mark taken. Jolly was at ground level. Quickly got his hand pass out. Still a chance, though, for the Blues. Escaping with the footy was Fisher, but he missed his right foot snap. And a minor score for the Northern Blues, 4-3, 27 to 7-6, 48.
It certainly is the scoring end of the ground. And you can see with Williamstown pushing all players up at the moment. Nobody's behind the centre circle at the moment.
Hilly, I think we just got a message from Patrick Kerr from ground level, just asking, could you keep your opinions and comments to yourself about his goal kicking?
I will do. Just to let you know, Lobe is going up the race and he'll head into the rooms to get that attended to. And there's quite a lot of blood coming from his forehead, so he might require some stitches.
Yeah, not good for the Northern Blues, because height is certainly something that they're lacking in today's lineup, and especially with injuries at AFL level. He's one of the players that they would hope would be out there and yeah, playing well in today's game. But at half back, Byrne takes it, kicks in short, finds his target, and Federico takes the mark again at half-back. Takes it along the outer side here at Icon Park. Good body work that time. Buckwell got it onto Jolly, up to Gibbons. Gibbons has been lively.
They're just trying to play a little bit of tempo footy here and control the footy.
Yeah, slowing it down, the Seagulls at the moment. Rodder couldn't take it across the top of the pack. Good work, Blakey. Oh, that was Graham, I should say. They go long on the outer side, one-on-one contest. Palmer at ground level. Gibbons, great work. Now they're setting it up. Schultz, still too far out to score, but he's got a vacant forward 50. Kavara just lurking at the back of the pack. Goes in towards left half forward, and Donnell, strong hands.
No, it might have been out in the full.
It was.
Anthony.
Umpire bringing it back now. Donnell just, well, he convinced me, just didn't convince the boundary umpire that was on the outer side as they go up towards looking for Palmer again. Now an opportunity for the Blues to move it up towards their half-forward line once again.
Kerr dropped the mark, but it just popped up in front of him. Then he fumbles as Norton came for him, so it is a turnover in the end. Meese back to Norton. Did well to get it to Buckwell. Goes wide by hand. Gibbons. Jolly back to Gibbons. Standing start. Right foot chipper over the top. That's okay for Lockie Schultz.
50 metres.
He's going for a walk. That'll bring Schultz within scoring range. Hilly, you've been hot on the umpires measuring these 50s properly of late.
Let's see how we go here. It's a little hard to tell from my angle.
I reckon Lockie Schultz took it dead centre wing.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that 50?
Maybe a shade short again.
He's close enough to have a shot though, Schultz. 21-point ball game as we speak. He can double the Northern Blues score here with a goal. Schultz comes in. Goalless so far today, and that'll remain the case. 7-7, 49 to 4-3, 27.
I haven't missed a rule change, have I?
Why is that, Hilly?
Because when we were at Williamstown 2 weeks ago, they were 40-metre penalties, and that one certainly didn't cover the 50.
That is a very bad kick in. It did not get anywhere near the target for Schumacher, and it's a free kick That will go Williamstown's way. Again, sloppy kicking, costing the Blues today. That kick didn't get anywhere near Cam O'Shea. So Schultz has it back for the Seagulls. Jack Charleston's snuck back out onto the ground as well. He's loose. Schultz was tucked up against the boundary, so was setting up kick toward the top of the square. A lot of humanity around this ball. Rodder tried to come crashing through, got held up well by the skipper Wilson. Ball still alive here for the moment. Now the whistle blows.
Nostradamus Hilly down on ground level. We've had a few change of leads. Footscray now leading Casey, and Geelong back in front of Sandringham with Cheetahs scoring, Geelong scoring the last couple of goals through Constable and Cheetahs. So lead change there. Coburg still leading Frankston. Now that lead back to 25 points. And Box Hill Hawks still in front of Port Melbourne.
Yeah, but that lead's been reduced 3 goals in a row for Port Melbourne in that one. So an 11-point ball game at Box Hill City Oval. Blues have a free kick here on the outer side.
I think we've got another blood rule here, boys.
And there's another Northern Blues man coming off, and there's a bit of blood coming from the mouth this time. So keep an eye on that one for us, Hilly.
He might have copped a heavy knock there because just didn't look to have his legs completely underneath him as well. That was Sam Fisher. So I'll keep an eye on that.
Thank you. So play's going to resume now. Palmer sent the ball down the line again. No target of the kick. Then a wayward handball from Tippett. Sees the ball spill out of bounds once more. So we're approaching half-time here. Only the 1 goal in his second term for Williamstown. That was off the boot of Benkavara. Blues have kicked 3 goals the other way.
It certainly is harder to score at the other end, and the advantage is to the left of screen. So Williamstown would actually be pretty pleased. They have kept the Blues to only 2 or 3 goals this quarter. But
so it's 3 goals to 1 in the second term.
3 goals to 1. So they'd be happy with that. I think they'd be happy with that defensively.
So right now it's in the hands of Gibbons. Just chips over the top. In fact, that was Gibbons, so it was Guevara giving it to Gibbons. And now we go towards half forward. Diving effort from Schultz. Couldn't take the mark. Masters brought down quickly by Stavrou. Is the ball going to stay in play? It's forced out now by Blakey up against Schultz, and it's a boundary throw in.
With just a little bit of a look up there, a bit more vision. Williamstown had a couple of players free in the corridor, but they're inclined to go to the boundary line. Well, there's a free kick off the ball here to Williamstown.
Sam Donnell's gone to ground up against Byrne, and it will be a downfield free kick for the Seagulls and almost directly in front. And this is a gift for the Seagulls as Sam Donnell eats these ones for breakfast.
And the Blues really should be careful here not to give the 50 away. He's probably going to be kicking from about 25 out, so it's not completely... or 20 out, but it's not completely gifted, but you don't want to give a 50 away and be kicking from the goal line.
Around the grounds, another goal for Port Melbourne, so it's back within a kick there. Jordan Lyles kicked another one. So we've got a close game at Box Hill City Oval. Footscray looking good against Casey. And it's still an 18-point lead for Coburg against Frankston. Sam Donnell misses.
Missed it.
That's what you call a Moz. 7-8-50 to 4-3-27.
It wasn't a gift. He wasn't on the goal line, so they were very lucky not to get a 50-metre penalty attached to that, the Blues.
Blues quick to move the ball straight down the middle of Icon Park as Byrne takes his time, finds Penrith out on this broadcast side wing. Handball's over the top, Graham. He's got Wilson all by himself, has time to size up his options. Oh, good movement of the football, finds Kerr. Kerr now an opportunity to go long to the left forward pocket. Who can he find? Unable to take the mark was Federico. Centering kick. Good work by the Seagulls defence. They'll bounce their way out of defensive 50 through Monk. He's got a burst of speed.
Oh, they're in here.
Talk about a burst of speed. Here's an opportunity.
Completely free.
Masters, Donnell, Rodder by himself. What will he do? Centering kick, wobbly to Kavara. Bounced over his head. And the Blues, how have they got away with this one? Oh, well, they haven't yet. Charleston, handballs to mark on. In short, no free kick. Play on the call, the umpire. They go towards the boundary line. That'd be the best thing for the Blues. Oh, smart work by Jolly. Tapped it back to Charleston. Round the corner. Inside forward 50 once again. Now Donnell gets it off to his teammate in Carroll. Carroll long, wide, out on the full. And the Blues out of trouble.
Completely out of jail there, the Blues. Williamstown had plenty of options everywhere, and Rodder was completely free in the forward line. The kick just wasn't good enough. Should have hit him lace out, really.
It's Josh Hill that has sent the ball back out of 50. Now picked up on the outer side by Valisaris. Took a bounce, takes a second bounce, and did well to get around Buckwell. Goes towards half forward. Well done, John Luke Valisaris, and he found a Manny McCabe. Too far out to score. Chris McCabe has 2 goals in this second term. Goes the short option. And the Blues happy to work it on the outskirts of 50. Kerr. Now to high deep ball. Couple of options down there. Fork's got the fist on it. Ground level, ball cleared back out. And the foot race on. Kerr in front of Pickus. Or bounce ball for Pickus. Runs onto it, kept on going. Took a bounce.
There's no one forward of him, though, unfortunately.
Hill closed in on the space, and something happens after the kick.
In the back.
Free kick's coming back to Josh Pickus. Too far out to score.
Few unhappy Blues fans with that decision.
I think we heard that. Bewley inside 50. Schultz, 3 Blues to deal with. It went over his head again. Byrne, little pass. Is that a mark for Wilson? It is. Just.
That was 100% a half volley, and he talked the umpire into it. Fantastic play.
Convinced him, Wilson. Great work by the captain. Goes long on the outer side. No one able to mark. Blues now an opportunity to go forward. Not much to kick to. The bounce will be crucial. Folks read it well. Can he get it to a teammate? He does. Charleston now. They're racing it from half back. Up towards forward 50. Rodder! Elected to punch. He forgot he was in the forward line. He went for the defensive punch away. And a ball held up. And we'll have a ball up 45 metres out from the Williamstown goal.
There can't be much time left in the quarter, boys, so this is very important that the Northern Blues lock this down and don't allow Williamstown to score.
Almost a 0-0 draw this quarter for both teams because Williamstown's had their opportunities. And Nick Meese is going to take the kick. And you would think if he kicks this, that it'd be a points decision this quarter for Williamstown.
Yes, and he might struggle with the distance here, just kicking into the breeze, but let's see how he goes.
Oh, whoa. He's gone the top. Yeah, he'll be reminded of that one during the week, probably
There's
in training.
a little bit happening in the goal square too. Just keep an eye on that one.
Rodder's in there. Ben Kavara too. Kavara just... I think he was pointing towards the scoreboard, but there's no scoreboard on that outer side.
More players coming across, so there might be something to just keep an eye on here.
I'm sure the players would prefer to have the money in their wallets at the end of the round rather than coming to the coffers with under the Malay rule. But it's all come apart fairly quickly. Kavara heading towards the bench. And that is half-time in our clash. And it was very one-sided during the first term, but the Northern Blues making a contest of it during the second quarter. 3-1 during the second term. And Williamstown, 7-7-49, lead the Northern Blues 4-3-27. Goal kickers till half-time in this clash. Donnell has 2, Rodder 2, and singles each to Kavara, Masters and Pickus. For the Northern Blues, 2 to McCabe, singles each to Graham and Mullet. In a good fight back by the Northern Blues during the second term. Both teams would probably be happy because Williamstown had a lot of the play in their forward half, were only able to score 1 goal. But also Williamstown, with the Northern Blues going to the scoring end that term, restricting them to just the 3 goals for the quarter.
Yeah, it was probably a break-even second term, that one. You know, you give the points to the Blues, but that first term could prove very, very costly. And as a result, it's still a 23-point ball game as we speak. What we'll do, we'll take a break and we'll take stock on what is happening around the grounds. Even touch on a little bit of yesterday's action with Richmond and Werribee getting wins, but we have got 4 other games going on around the ground. So we'll take a break here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. Anthony Stengitz, Glenn Hill. I'm Adam Sarri-Coglu. We'll take a break and come back with all that is happening around the VFL right after this.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wick up first. Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota Top 5 Plays of the Week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
It's your job. We'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Half-time at Icon Park. Headquarters here for AFL Victoria. 7-8-50. Williamstown leading the Northern Blues 4-3-27. The margin at quarter time, 31 points for the Seagulls after kicking 6 goals to 1. Blues had the scoring end in the second, managed to whittle that lead down to 23 by the main break. 2 goals each for Sam Donnell, Nick Rodder for the Seagulls, and 2 goals for Chris McCabe for the Northern Blues. But this is only one of 5 games taking place in the Peter Jackson VFL today, as well as 2 yesterday. I'm with Anthony Stengitz and Glenn Hill, boundary side as well here at Icon Park, which is bathed in sunshine. It's still quite chilly, Anthony, but the sun's out, which is good to see. We've had a good weekend for weather, and we had some interesting games yesterday as well. The 2 winners, Werribee and Richmond.
Yeah, the two Tigers doing it quite differently in their own particular ways. The Werribee-Essendon game, what a clash it was between those two teams. 14 lead changes in the second half. And Werribee, through Andrew Hooper's fourth goal, I believe, of the afternoon, put them in front and gave them a 1-point victory, just their third win of the season and probably one of their most important in their new standalone history, and a fantastic result for them to get the result up against a team that's fighting for a top 4 position. And that could be one of the games that really costs them from getting a top 4 spot, Essendon, because it brings them amongst that pack that we talked about earlier on in the broadcast with Box Hill, Collingwood, Williamstown, Port Melbourne and Footscray. And with those teams going head-to-head against each other, it was a perfect opportunity for Essendon to create a bit of a gap between them and some of those other teams that were going to lose the head-to-head clashes. I should mention it was Werribee's 4th win of the season, but Essendon's done that before. They've, I think they dropped a match to Footscray earlier on. That was probably one of their last significant losses, and have been beaten by a couple of the top 8 teams over recent weeks, and dropping a game to a team outside of the 8 is probably not something you want to do when you're going for a double chance.
It was a wonderful second half. It was 9 goals to 10 in the second half. The Bombers actually got the 10 after only kicking 5-10 to half-time. So that's a magnificent win for the Tigers. As you mentioned, Anthony, their 4th win of the season. Good day to be a Tiger because Richmond got a big win. This one was it Beaconsfield? Where was this game? It was,
yes.
It was Beaconsfield between Richmond's
home park
and North Melbourne. 19-14, 128. The Tigers too good for the Kangas, only kicking 6-7-43. They've been really disappointing, I reckon, at VFL level this year. North Melbourne, we know Richmond's a high-quality side. Very few injuries affecting the AFL side, which does filter down to this particular level. A lazy 6 for Tyson Stengel and Sean Manor kicks 2 alongside the JJ Liston Trophy winner from last year, Jacob Townsend. A big win for the Tigers.
Also, in saying that, too, Adam, with North Melbourne running their own team for the very first time this year and not being aligned with Werribee, it's a big change for them. And I think they haven't adapted as well as what we probably would have thought they would have. But give them some time, and I'm sure they'll bounce back in the coming years.
Yeah, big loss for them in the second half of the season. Michael Close obviously had that concussion, out for the rest of the year, and just his marking presence up in the forward line, it changes the role of another couple of players in that lineup. Cam Zurha has also been injured. I think that was last weekend's game, so he's also out, who was a great presence up forward for them. So it's relying on your young talent like Nick Larkey and a young player like that, just new to the system, and you're relying on him to be your key forward target. He's doing a great job. He's up there in the top 5 of the Frosty Miller medal, but it's difficult for a player to have that consistent form right across the season as the key target for you.
As the key guy and carrying a forward line. And you need multiple options in attack, and they're just lacking a couple of options at the moment, the Kangaroos.
And then we come to the games that are in progress at Box Hill City Oval, 7-11-53. Box Hill just holding on against Port Melbourne, 7-4-46. Hawks out to a 4-goal lead earlier in the game, but the last 4 goals of the first half going the Borough's way, including 2 for Jordan Lyle. Robin Nahas having an impact in this one as well. 7-point lead for the Hawks as we speak against Port Melbourne.
Well, we tipped it to be a close game today at the venue, and with the wind, as we talked about earlier, just howling today. I would say that Box Hill kicked with it in the first quarter, and Port Melbourne have kicked with it in the second quarter, and scores have really tightened up at Box Hill.
We go to Casey Field, 6-2-38, the Demons there, trailing against Footscray, 9-4-58. That's a 20-point halftime lead for the Bulldogs. Angus Scott kicked a late one for Casey right at the 32-minute mark of a very long second term. It went 36.5 minutes, so 1 goal there, but a 6-goal run for the Dogs in that second term to establish that lead at halftime.
That certainly is a surprising result. You would have thought that Casey protecting their home field advantage, and they're very strong there, that they would be on top in that game. So that's a real surprise. Footscray got a lot of players out today, being tested with their AFL depth. I think they might have only had, from memory, around 7 or 8 doggies players, listed AFL players playing today. So really testing their VFL depth today. So that's a tremendous performance from Footscray.
Yeah, it was a goal in Casey's favour at quarter time, so a 26-point turnaround there for the Bulldogs. As we go to the next game, Piranha Park, it's Coburg taking on at Frankston. They're so desperate to get a win, the Lions, and so far, so good. 6-7-43 leading Frankston, 3-8-26.
Yeah, great start by Coburg, kicking the first 5 goals of the game. Frankston fighting back during the second term, 3-1 during the second quarter. But, yeah, Coburg with that home ground advantage. And as I mentioned earlier on, I just thought that they were hungry for the win after last week's result. It wasn't the way that they wanted the match to go, and I'm sure Lee Adams would have had a good chat to them about the week, saying how close that they've got. And it's that, again, that consistency. So they had that 5-goal first term, but then they need to, again, produce that in another quarter. They did well last week. They had the 5-goal final term, came back from a 31-point deficit, I think it was, up against Sandringham. But it's that consistency to bring it for a second or third quarter, and that's what you want to see out of Coburg in the second half of this match. Their final terms have been fantastic, so they'd be backing themselves if they're up by 2 or 3 goals at three-quarter time, but it's getting to that position of being in a winning spot at three-quarter time.
It certainly is, and they've been, you know, such a young group for the entire season. So you'd expect in games that they would probably fall away in the last quarter. So it is such a great sign that they're responding to their coaching and playing out the games full of spirit. Really impressive from Coburg. It's a great start for them today, and we'll keep a close eye on that game because Frankston will obviously be desperate for a win as well. Only the 2 wins so far this season, and one coming against Coburg when they convincingly beat them in Frankston. Now having to deal with the away leg and not dealing with it as well as they would like, I would imagine.
So the margin was 34 points in favour of Coburg at quarter time. That's been whittled down to 17. The final game to look at is between Sandringham and Geelong. And, well, the Cats are playing some pretty good footy at the moment, and they are so far enjoying a 13-point lead at half-time, 8-6-54. Sandringham 6-5-41. The Cats have kicked all 4 goals in the second term of that one.
Yeah, that's another one to keep an eye on because they certainly are on the road for a second week in a row, as you pointed out earlier, Adam, and it'll be interesting to see how their legs are in the last quarter against Sandringham. So they'll be looking to try and extend their lead in the third quarter, although it looks like they may be kicking with the breeze in the last quarter.
So all 5 games are at half-time as we speak. It's Footscray by 20 over Casey, Geelong by 13 over Sandringham, Box Hill leading Port Melbourne by 7 points, and Coburg by 17 against Frankston. Here at Icon Park, it is a 23-point lead for Williamstown, 7-8-50 to the Northern Blues, 4-3-27. The Seagulls are back out on the park warming up. We're still yet to see the Northern Blues. We will take another break here on Peter Jackson, VFL Live. Adam Sarri-Coglu, Anthony Stangitz and Glenn Hill. 7-8-50 Williamstown, the Northern Blues 4-3-27. We'll take a break now. We'll have a chat about what to expect in the second half here because right now it is a 23-point lead for the Seagulls over the Blues. Back after this on Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
It's your job. We'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
1-2, Jamie Wickup first. Craig Lowndes
And
second.
you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018. The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved. Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota Top 5 Plays of the Week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
Second half not far away from getting underway between Williamstown and the Northern Blues Seagulls. 7-8-50 Blues 4-3-27 Seagulls in position. The Blues have only just re-emerged from the rooms. Adam Sarikoglu, Anthony Stangitz and Glenn Hill. The call team for today as Hilly makes his way back down to boundary level. It's Anthony Stangitz and myself up here in the box. How do the Blues get back into this game in the second half? They won't have the scoring end in the third term.
Well, they've got to limit the opportunities for Williamstown in that forward line. It was too easy for Williamstown to get the ball, number one, into their forward line, and number two, keep the ball in their forward line. So the Blues have got to quickly get it out when they can. As Williamstown did, they just trapped the ball in their forward half during the later stages of that second quarter, and we haven't seen that enough from the Blues. The Blues, when it's gone into their forward line, it's quickly come out, and they haven't kept it in there. So I think that'll be the difference that they need to make in this third quarter.
So the third term gets underway here. Lobby back out there, some tape around his head as Graham gets the first clearance of the second half. Kick might have been partially smothered. It doesn't escape the centre square. Holding the ball and a free kick to go the Blues' way. So a promising start to the second half. It's in the hands of Mullet. The left foot goes wide. Couldn't quite find his man, LeBoy, ground level. Monk fed the hand pass out. Gibbons did well to get it moving. Now Bewley gets it to Charleston. Right foot towards centre wing. That kick was okay. Just a fumble there in the middle of the ground from Markon. Did well to get it back to Kavara. Sidestepped and went inside 50. Diving effort. No mark taken there by Schneering. Ground level ball. And it's not coming out. Or maybe it is. A free kick for holding the ball has been paid, and an early shot on goal in this second half to go the Seagulls' way. Glenn Hill, I think I heard a bit of dismay at that decision coming from you.
It just looked like both players were going for the footy, and the Blues player just got his hands on it first, and really can't see realistically how that is holding the ball.
So Lee Masters did kick a goal in the first term, presented well. And he has a chance now to get his second. The perfect start for Williamstown in this second half. 8:56, playing 4-3-27. Only a minute and a half into this third term.
Marcus Stavro certainly has a right to probably complain there. He certainly was just going for the footy at the same time the Williamstown player was, and then was tackled with no opportunity to get rid of it. And I think he's a little stiff there. A little stiff.
Ball back in the middle. Perfect start for Williamstown. And again, early goal to start one of the quarters. As Meese up against Lobe in the ruck. Doesn't even leave the ground. Meese gets it down though. Gibbons goes out wide to Masters. 2 goals now in this clash. Wearing him hard was Pearce. And we'll have a ball up. 60 metres out from the Williamstown goal. Kicking to the scoring end during this third quarter here at Icon Park. Bathed in beautiful sunshine today. The sunshine probably belies how cold it is. Is that correct, Tilly, down on the boundary line?
Look, it's certainly fresh. Without putting a number on it, I'd say we wouldn't be much above 10.
It's not much different up here in the commentary box either, Anthony.
No. As the ball, Penrith over the footy, tackles his opponent. I thought the umpire might come in for too high on Marcon. He's going to ball it up again. Marcon and Hill going head-to-head, the two captains, as they did at the photo shoot earlier this year. Ball at the back. Good work by Folks. Handy inclusion back into the team recent weeks. Good mark taken in defence. Schumacher goes wide. Blakey over the top. Now they'll run the ball out of defence. Byrne. They get the ball. Hill from half back. Can keep on running. Goes up to half forward and finds Casbolt. Casbolt now with the footy. Too far out to score, as we saw from his earlier kick. Kicks long to the goal square. No mark paid. Comes to the back of the pack. And the Seagulls will clear through Gibbons.
Took a bounce, gave it to Bewley. Kept it moving by hands over the top. Well picked up by Schultz. Having a good game. Comes in board, finds Kavara. Always seemingly has a good game. Ben Kavara goes towards Masters. Couldn't take the mark. And now Bramble. Just escape with the footy. No real pressure on him in the ends. And Rodder's got plenty of space. Too easy. And a mark and a shot on goal coming up for the Gulls once more. Too easy. As Nick Rodder. Did he sneak back out onto the ground, Hilly? Is that why he had so much space out the back?
He just sprinted hard when the turnover occurred at the other end of the ground, and there just wasn't enough Blues players getting back hard enough. I talked about that in the second quarter. They've just got to run a bit harder defensively. I'm sure that's something that they're trying to address, but on that occasion they got completely caught out.
Kicked 2 goals in the opening term, Rodder. From the Darley Football Club. Right foot ball is another goal. 9-6-62, now playing 4-3-27. This one's quickly getting out of hand.
It certainly is, and the more I watch Nick Rodder, the more I think he's an AFL player.
That's big praise, that.
How old would Nick Rodder be? 23?
Chase that one down for you if you like.
See if we can get a look on that, because this is about the 4th time I've seen him this year, and the more I see him, the more I'm impressed with the way he leads up at the footy, the way he contests at ground level, the marks he can take. He's a very good kick. He's got a real future at maybe a higher level.
We'll take a look. He's a 94 birth, so if they make him 24, 94.
Okay. So
July, just a recent birthday as well.
He has just turned 24. I had the feeling he might have been 23. So yeah, he's just turned 24. And you know, if I was an AFL recruiter, I'd certainly be having a look at him. He's put together an unbelievable VFL season for Williamstown.
Good work by Byrne. Finds his target in Fisher. Fisher in towards the middle. Finds Myers. Myers up towards half forward. Better play by the Blues. Lynch now inside forward 50, looking for Casbolt on the one-on-one with Tippett. Been an entertaining duel between those two today. No love lost throughout the afternoon. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Left forward pocket. Let's see what they can do, the Blues, in their forward half. As we mentioned just before we came back for the third term, they need to keep the ball in their forward half, which they had trouble doing in the first half. Myers round the corner. Reading the ball very well was Braden Monk. Takes a mark on the last line of defence. Plays on, goes across goal. Good block on that occasion from Buckwell. They're playing it well. They've got the options. Long lead from Masters. He's going to have a run. Got Kavara. Now, what will the defence of the Blues do? Kempster ran back towards goal. Kavara goes goalward instead and puts it through. Fantastic coast-to-coast play by Williamstown, starting with Braden Monk on the last line. Took the mark, played on, and then great team effort. Masters to Kavara, and Kavara putting through his second goal of the game. And Williamstown moving on to 10-8-68 to the Northern Blues, 4-3-27. And we're just ticked over to the 7.5-minute mark of the third term.
And it certainly did look that Williamstown were going to switch that play, and you could see the numbers that they created and the space that they created. And I'd look for that again throughout this quarter. The Northern Blues need to be awake to that. That's their preferred option on this ground.
3 quick goals to start this second half for the Seagulls, and as I said, it's getting out of hand, and a holding free kick to go their way. Out of the middle, Jolly gives it to Bewley. That kick didn't quite get the purchase he wanted, but it did get the result he wanted. Masters took the mark, and the Seagulls again go inside 50. Bouncing ball, Rodder didn't get close enough to it that time. O'Shea, pressured handball over the top. Not keeping it in play was Blakey, boundary throwing.
Just for our viewers at home, Lobe now in the 17 jumper, obviously going off with the blood rule, so changing from the 36 to 17. Goes up against Meese in the ruck. Meese tries to score another goal. Did that long torpedo, or the short torpedo, to end the first half. Don't the ruckman love an opportunity to get a goal out of the ruck? Meese was denied on that occasion. Blakey now first in the race for the football. Free kick's been found.
Yeah, just a little sling tackle off the play there after he disposed of the football. I just can't see which Northern Blues player it was, but
Mason Blakey.
Yep.
So the ball, a few Northern Knights teammates, or former teammates, all working well together as it comes the switch across to Hill. Not our Hilly, the Hilly from the Northern Blues. Good work by Nick Rodder again.
Fantastic effort. One arm diving spoil, hit it clean.
So a bit of talk between the players down there as well. A bit of niggle, both ends of the ground. Rodder and O'Shea, and Tippett and Casbolt. Meese's jumper being held in that ruck jaw that time by Lobe, as Monk taken over the line. And we'll see a boundary throw in right in front of our broadcast position here at Icon Park. And currently, good lead of, what have we got? 6 goals now in favour of Williamstown.
Ball just bounced up in front of Meese. And Gibbons gets the 1-2 from Jolly. He almost got brought down. Got his hand pass out and almost found the target as well, but it was eventually coughed up. Federico did have it momentarily. He got brought down. Bowled over was Jolly. It's a ball up.
Yeah, there's a lot of feeling in this game, and a lot of people will tell you it's better to play with a bit of edge, and there's certainly a lot of edge out there at the moment.
So ground level ball here. Federico's over the top of the ball. Might have been claimed without it. No free kick against Kempster. Blues maintain possession. Kick wasn't 15 there for Wilson. Lucky the handball option was there. Look out. Kavara almost brought him down. Penrith got his kick out in time, but it didn't go far. Bramble got it back for the Seagulls. Got it to Greiser by hand. And now Schneering has it on the outer wing. Tom Schneering. Only his 7th game of the year for the Seagulls. In board for Forks. He's missed some footy as well. 7th game for him this season.
Handy pickup from the GWV Rebels, Tom Schneering.
So Forks, that was a slightly dangerous ball. Greiser takes it. One of the local products from the Western Jets. A wobbler towards half forward. Not a great ball. Straight down the throat of Kerr. Short option available. And that's Palmer. He's happy to just go in board as well with the lateral pass. That was okay. Penrith, he did well to get it to his skipper. Was he pushed after his kick? We're going for another walk.
50-metre penalty. He just crept a metre over his mark there.
Okay, so Wilson will be brought within scoring range, and really the captain has to step up and kick a goal here for the Blues to be any chance of getting back into this game.
Yeah, I think it was Jack Dorgan. He just went a little bit too ambitiously over the mark there to try and hold the play up, and the umpire, without a warning, just pinged him straight away.
About a 30-degree angle here. Probably kick from about 25 metres. Tom Wilson only has 3 goals to his name this season. Make that 4. 5-3-33, playing 10-8-68, 12, nearly 13 gone third term.
Really crucial goal there from the Blues against the run of play. It did come at the hands of a 50-metre penalty, but certainly a crucial goal. Just keep them in this. Just give them some hope.
Burn and Bewley make their way back out onto Icon Park. So the margin down to 35 points. We go around the grounds. Box Hill have kicked some crucial goals to maintain their lead against Port Melbourne. Coburg leading Frankston by 31 points, and we've still got leads for Geelong and Footscray in those other 2 games, those ones at Sandringham and Casey respectively.
Tap down, Casbolt into the ruck. Kick forward by Marcon. Masters couldn't take the mark. Schumacher comes out of it and gets it to Mullet. They move it forward. Good mark taken by the Blues. Palmer goes inside forward 50. Watch for the man at the back of the pack. Couldn't get his hands on it. Good work by the Seagulls in defence again. And that has been the highlight for them. As soon as the Blues go inside forward 50, Seagulls able to extract it. Good work by Bewley working hard. You've got Tippett down there. Folks is the loose man in defence. All playing their role well today for Williamstown. Keen to get back on the winners list. As we said, interesting stat. Each of their wins this year coming when they've scored 10 goals or more. So going on their form line, you would predict that Williamstown should have a win, but I'm sure the Northern Blues in this last half will say something different as Casbolt tried to bulldoze his way through a couple of Williamstown players. They've had the better result in the end. That was Kerr down at the bottom of the pack. LeBoyce kicks it out wide just to open space. Good work again by the Seagulls. Now they're away. They go long inside forward 50, 2-on-1 contest. Rodder fell over. And just unable to keep the ball in play, the Seagulls, and we'll see the ball over the line and ready for another boundary throw in. So wide open forward half for the Northern Blues. Tapped down by Meese. Free kick's been found and will go holding. It goes the way of Adam Marcon. Been a bit frustrated at the last couple of ball ups, and that's probably the reason why, Hilly.
Yeah, he has. He's getting some really close attention from the Blues taggers, and yeah, he needs to get this one for his own confidence. He hasn't had a massive day so far numbers-wise, so be looking forward to slotting this one.
5 individual goal scorers today for Williamstown. make that 6. So the captain puts through his first of the afternoon. It is the 11th on the board for Williamstown, and they move on to 11 goals, 874, leading Northern Blues 4-3-27. And we've ticked over to the 16.5-minute mark of the third term. And, yeah, well deserved that goal to add a mark on for some of the niggle that he's received today.
Yeah, he certainly needed that one for his own confidence, and it also just restores that lead, and they'll need a very strong lead going into this last quarter.
So 17 minutes in now. And the Seagulls enjoying a very good third term as Bewley sends a high left foot ball inside 50, but Hill in the right spot takes the relieving mark for the Blues and then coughs it straight back up. A shocking ball. And Bramble has it just beyond 50. Sends the Gulls back out toward the square. Good hand Stavru that time. Did well to take the mark at the top of the square. And let's see if this time the Blues can use it better by foot. First short pass was okay. O'Shea, pressure coming. Schneering won the ball back but didn't have good footing and got brought to the deck straight away. So a ball up inside 50. Full pocket. As the ball gets thrown up, Meese was in front of Lobe that time. It's just pinballing around, picked up by Byrne. Quick hand pass out and a clearing ball here, bouncing. Charleston overran it. Graham there to mop it up for the Blues. Got the hand pass in board, but it was just ricocheted that time. So not a great ball there from Myers. Picked up. Roy was under pressure and losing it was Pickus. Sloppy footy at the moment, Lobe. Got the clearing ball out on that outer wing. That's a high tackle, surely right in front of the umpire against Kerr. And Norton to claim the free kick. Gets it to Bewley, having a good game. Goes inside 50 and that ball's going to carry. Schultz claimed it, but it was already over the line, so that's a minor score in the end. And now the Seagulls move to 11-9-75. Northern Blues 5-3, 33, 18.5 gone third term.
Such a powerful kick of the footy. Bewley, his eyes just lit up. 60 out. Not many players can carry that far.
Ball back into play. Riser, now Gibbons off the chest of Schultz. Oh, Donnell on the runners, missed it. Usually eats up those ones across the face and through for one behind. Another behind on the board. They move on to 11-10-76 to 5-3-33.
And another turnover here for the Blues potentially at half back as the ball's picked up by Monk. Was happy to concede a bit of ground. Fawkes goes wide by foot. And all's well that ends well for the Seagulls as Schneering takes the relieving mark and goes over the top for Bewley. Too far out to score though. Charleston's asking for it. Bewley ignores that. Trusty left foot inside 50. Here's Ben Jolly. He's got some space inside forward 50. Took it uncontested. 45-degree angle. If he has a shot, will kick from just inside 50.
Really smart footy there from Williamstown. It's quite easy when you've got a bit of a breeze at your back to just bomb away, but most of their players are lowering their eyes and leads are presenting, and I'd say the majority of their shots at goal have come from this range, this 40 metres out, because they've been presenting on the lead.
Jolly coming off a 25 disposal game against Port Melbourne. Right foot's on the way. It's going to go right to the line. Chest mark attempt from Schultz. Couldn't take it. Kavara tried to play some soccer. Meese run into trouble and did not dispose of the footy. Free kick, Northern Blues, and they survive another Williamstown attack. On the last line of defence, it's Byrne that has it for the Blues inside the goal square. He'll be asked to hurry up. Kick toward the broadcast side. Fawkes in the right spot. Took the mark well. Just really struggling to get it out of their defensive half at the moment, the Blues. It's been a problem for a lot of the day today as Fawkes looks for a lead. Sam Donnell provides.
Certainly got to be a game plan decision here. All players are just leading up. Very, very well structured Williamstown, and Sam Donnell's a fantastic kick of the football. He'll have no trouble with the distance here.
You are right behind this one, Hilly. as Donnell from just inside 50, right foot's on the way. That's going to go across the face. If it makes a distance, it gets fisted through. So the Seagulls have kicked off late. 1 goal, 4, and they're 11-11-77 to 5-3-33.
Blakey finds Palmer. Palmer just sizing up his options, told to play on by the umpire. Goes wide, finds Mullet. Mullet with the switch. Blakey still at half back. Just unable to find the quick options outside of defensive 50. Hill now. Opportunity to take it outside of defensive 50. Does so. Heads towards Lobe. Couldn't take the mark. Now O'Shea goes for the long lead of Casbolt. Tippett by his side. Oh, great tackle by LeBoyce, but he's taken him too high, his opponent in Monk. And Monk again looks for the switch. Finds Greiser. He'll go back to Monk. Monk, plenty of time. Over to the captain in Mark on to Monk to Kavara. Over the top. Kavara will get it back. The 1-2. He sizes up his options. Switches across and finds Carroll. So Carroll, the 23rd player today, goes long inside forward 50. Misdirected kick. And it will be the Northern Blues to repel once again.
So Valasaris has the ball. Hand pass looking for Graham. He's under pressure. Graham needed some help and Wilson provided. Kick wide. Byrne won't chase that one down. Jack Charleston asking for deliberate. Won't get that. Is that Paddy Kerr next to you, Hilly, getting some work done at the moment?
He's just getting a rub down at the moment. I'm not sure it's anything serious. He just might need a bit of a massage.
Saw Josh Fraser come across you moments ago, coaching from the bench for the rest of this quarter, it seems. Blues will go inside 50. A high helicopter ball bouncing. Greiser will mop it up. Searching handball for Bewley. Claimed as soon as he got it. Umpire was right there, crossed his arms.
Around the grounds, 43-point lead to Coburg, leading Frankston.
Can't drop that short.
Edging towards time, or in time on in the third quarter. It is Box Hill Hawks now 25 points ahead of Port Melbourne. Geelong bucking the trend. They're ahead of Sandringham in the third term against the Breeze. They're up by 13 points. And Casey have regained the lead with the Breeze during the third quarter. And they lead by 6 points over Footscray. So really enjoying. I think we might try and fixture more of this next year. The 2 o'clock start for all 5 games, watching them all unfold all at the one time.
We'll try and bring you an updated ladder here at the end of round 15 as we do get the results, as the Blues get a shot on goal and kick one against the flow of play. Kim LeBoy kicks it. The Carlton rookie. 6-3-39, playing 11-11-77 on Peter Jackson VFL Live.
Yeah, breaking the trend and dominance of Williamstown this term. Getting his first for the day. And first this quarter for the Northern Blues.
I think they've done really well to hang in there and not be chasing a 40-plus lead at three-quarter time at the moment, the Blues. If they could get another one against the flow of play, never know, there might be a chance in the last quarter.
Let's see what they can do. Ball in the middle. Kavara spending a bit more time in the midfield over recent weeks. Good work by the... Oh, great tackle by Masters. Not rewarded. Took O'Shea to the ground. But here's that defensive effort once again. Dorgan inside forward 50, 2-on-1 contest. Hill just sweeping across the back of the pack.
Oh, he's run too far.
I think it was just that sidestep that confused the umpire. I thought it was a bounce rather than just a sidestep. Graham nearly took too long. Kicks it up to a 2-on-1 contest. Seagulls come down with the football again. Mark on. Straight down the middle. Safe hands of Sam Donnell. Have loved watching his marking prowess today in today's game. Good punch away that time by Hill, denied Rodder. Ball over the line, and we'll have a boundary thrown in the right forward pocket for Williamstown. Kicking to the scoring end during this quarter. And been able to make the most of it with 4-1 for the term. Wilson onto Graham. They extract the ball once again. It's going to be Williamstown with a 2-on-1 contest. Tippett's been good today. Had the job on Casbolt. Charleston back to Tippett. Sidesteps his opponent. Nearly mark on. This could open it up for the Blues. Mark on. Shows his experience, holds the football up, and we'll have a ball up at half forward for the Northern Blues.
Just looking up at the scoreboard, just an AFL update. Collingwood down by about 40 points at the MCG. Does that sound correct?
I'll take a check as Adam takes over.
Gibbons has the ball for the Seagulls on defensive 50. Kicks in board for Kavara. Those two have combined a couple times today. Kavara switching ball. That's a great ball for Donnell. Marked it, kept on running. The right football. Lacking, desperately lacking a finish.
He's going to get a free kick here, boys, from just some over.
Okay, so let's see if the point counts first. It looks like the point will count. So the Seagulls go to 11-12 at 78 after that point, but he will get the free kick. Sam Donnell push after the kick. A real sign of frustration for the Northern Blues, so a chance at a 7-point play for the Seagulls.
So they're just clarifying here with the score.
The point was indicated by the field umpire. Now he'll have a chat to the goal umpire. In fact, the boundary umpire comes into play now as well. That kick from Donnell did get very, very close to the behind post.
Look, on my first look at it, I thought it was out in the full.
Has the point counted or not? The goal umpire at the other end is also confused.
I don't think it has.
Nick Rodder is actually claiming the free kick now instead of Sam Donnell.
I think it wasn't a point anyway. And they're still talking between themselves, but the Carlton players are pointing at the point post, and I've got the feeling that clipped the behind post, and it actually might have even clipped it on the other side.
Umpire's asking for the ball back. And we're having another conference between Gold, Field and boundary umpires.
Just to clarify, Hilly, not quite as big a margin as you were mentioning with Collingwood, but they have been defeated by 35 points.
Wow.
The point comes off, so the point comes off the board. We go back to 11-11-77 for Williamstown, and we'll see what happens next now. So Sam Donnell was paid a free kick.
Yeah, okay. I think I've got a grip on this.
Explain it to us, Hilly.
Sam Donnell was pushed in the action of the kicking, but that wasn't what the free kick was for. He got to his feet and he was dumped afterwards, and that's what I was saying.
Okay, so it's downfield.
So it is a downfield free kick.
Rodder with the right foot snap after all of that chaos goes across the face, which puts that behind back on the board. 11-12-78 to 6-3-39. Nearly 30 gone third term.
And the confusion has come from whether that was a behind or an out of bounds, and that's where the problems occurred there.
So Casbolt takes the mark. I hope our audience aren't as confused as our commentary team. We've tried to explain it as best as we could to you. And that was Rodder that kicked that. It wasn't Donnell. Donnell was the one that was dumped. So Hill couldn't take it. Good work again. Donnell back in the action. Schultz could have been taken high. Umpire probably thought he ducked into the tackle.
Good umpire.
Penrith. That halfback. Oh, good work here by the Seagulls. Rodder in the goal square. He was in two minds of what to do. And he decided to put through his 4th goal of the game. 12th goal of the match for the Seagulls. And they move on to 12-12-84, leading Northern Blues 6-3-39. And once again, Hilly, it's just that defensive pressure that they show inside their forward 50, the Seagulls, that led to that goal.
Yeah, it was certainly high pressure, and their skills on the turnover is what's killing the Blues as well. They're just so clean with the footy, not fumbling. hitting their targets, and it's absolutely killing the Blues at the moment. The margin has blown out, and they'll have an opportunity in the last quarter to kick with that breeze, the Blues, but it's unfortunately just sailing away from them at the moment.
Around the grounds, we're seeing some one-sided third terms for a couple of teams that clearly have a bit of a breeze, because Casey have clawed their way back and are in front.
We just need to refresh the Sandringham Geelong score. We've still got half time on that one and see what pops up.
What was that score at Casey, Adam?
10-4-64 Casey, now leading at Footscray, 9-4-58 from memory. That was Footscray's halftime score.
Okay, so look, Footscray are probably well placed in that game with the wind obviously howling it to the opposite end, so they'll get their chance in the last quarter. And if they're going to make the finals, make some September action, Footscray, they'll have to finish that game off and get the victory.
So we've had multiple stoppages here since that last goal for Rodder. Now Jolly feeds the ball out. Gibbons, left foot, straight down the throat of Hill. 17-minute mark of the third term. The Cats have kicked away to a 19-point lead over Sandringham as well. That's the three-quarter time siren here at Icon Park. 6-3-39, the Northern Blues trailing Williamstown 12-12. 84 to Seagulls kicked 5 goals 4 in that third term. 2 goals straight for the Blues. That is your three-quarter time score here at Icon Park. It's a margin of 45 points in favour of the Seagulls. Goal kickers to this one for three-quarter time, Anthony Stankers.
Goal kickers, plenty of them for Williamstown. 4 goals to Rodder, 2 goals each to Kavara, Donnell, Masters, and singles each to Marcon and Pickus. And for the Northern Blues, 2 goals to McCabe, singles each to Graham, LeBoy, and also to Mullet at three-quarter time.
Something interesting just happened then in the centre square. Tom Wilson went out to the umpires, I think on the back of Josh Fraser having a word with Tom about some free kicks. So you don't see that too often at this level, but he certainly went and had a chat about a few things that may have not gone to their advantage in that quarter.
All right, which huddle are you going to, Hilly?
We are going to Williamstown, and we'll spend the majority of the time there, and we might be able to grab Andy Collins for a couple of quick questions coming out of there.
Hopefully have Andy Collins at the other side of this break. 12-12-84, Williamstown leading by 45 points over the Northern Blues, 6-3-39. Hilly's on boundary. I'm Adam Sarri-Coglu alongside Anthony Stangetz. We'll take a break and we'll go around the grounds with the other 4 games taking place in the Peter Jackson VFL. We'll take stock on what's happening around the grounds, but it's Williamstown by 45 here. Back after this with the final term.
Your Peter Jackson VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership puts you in the box seat to watch AFL players and the stars of the future at your local ground. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field whilst kids under 15 get in free. To be part of the action, head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2018.
There's an art to this kind of deal. The guy's got to look the part. He's got to be smart. He's got to be brave. He's got to know when to seize the moment. With Peter Jackson half-year sale, any 2 suits for $895. The rules are simple, but the art is in the details.
Peter Jackson.
Watch Channel 7 this Saturday for live Peter Jackson VFL action. Head to vfl.com.au for the full list of upcoming broadcast games, results and news, or download the new VFL app, the Peter Jackson VFL. Live this Saturday at 2 p.m. on Channel 7. Get involved.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
Where you go?
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations, plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
The new VFL app is the best way to keep up to date with all the action in the Peter Jackson VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Follow live scores, get the latest news and see all the game stats at the end of each weekend's round of matches. Search VFL and download it from the App Store. The VFL app. Get involved.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
For all the latest Peter Jackson VFL news, results and video links, head to vfl.com.au. Your week is fully planned. See highlights from the latest round of VFL action each Monday. Catch up with all the stats that matter on Tuesday. Wednesday, look through the Toyota top 5 plays of the week. Thursday, stay tuned for the team announcements. Then Friday, preview the next round of action. Visit the Peter Jackson VFL website at vfl.com.au. Get involved.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Looks to be the last game of the first set. Almagro leading 5-3.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au and Aussie Digital. This is Peter Jackson, VFL Live.
It's a 45-point ball game here at Icon Park. Williamstown 12-12-84 in control against the Northern Blues 6-3-39. The only solace that the Blues can take is that they will have the scoring end in the final term. Adam Sarikoglu, Anthony Stangett's with you up here in the Peter Jackson VFL live commentary box. We've got Glenn Hill in the Williamstown huddle, and we will have Andy Collins coming out of that, as was the plan at quarter time. We fixed those technical issues as often, well, not, I shouldn't say often, occasionally can happen here on Peter Jackson VFL Live. We have been able to fix all of that. The Gulls had a very, very good third term there.
Certainly did, and again, just making the most of their opportunities. Probably the first goal was the iffy one, getting the free kick up in the forward line, but their ability for Rodder to provide a marking option. Again, the players streaming down the field. Sam Donnell's putting on a marking clinic today, so let's head down to Hilly down at ground level.
Yeah, Sam Donnell is putting on a bit of a marking clinic, and you'd be very pleased with the marking, the aerial work around the ground.
Yeah, no, look, obviously we've created some really good spaces for our players to lead into. Really pleased with the way we used the ball that quarter.
Also, too, your pressure's been outstanding pretty much from the get-go.
Yeah, it's something that wasn't there last week, so a real credit to the boys to respond in a positive way.
And certainly you touched on that issue just at three-quarter time, talking about the run and the overlap and trying to push the ball, but without taking too many risks.
Yeah, look, obviously we didn't get the scoring opportunities or didn't take the opportunities in the second quarter, so we want to take those in the last quarter, see if we can use the ball a bit better.
Beautiful. Thanks, Andy, for your time again on VFL Live.
Thanks, mate.
So both huddles have dispersed, and players that, and officials that aren't obviously taking part at this first centre bounce making their way off the ground. What's happening around the grounds, Anthony Stangett's? We've got some live scores, and one score from Sandringham we haven't touched on in a while as well, between the Zebras and the Cats.
Yeah, 19 points the margin in favour of Geelong, so they're taking control of that game. They had the breeze in the second term, and they've continued that form from the second term into the third quarter. So 19-point lead to them. Casey with the breeze in the third quarter have taken advantage up against Footscray, but whether their 14-point lead heading towards the end of that third term will be enough in the final quarter, we're yet to see, because Footscray took a pretty good fist of it during the second term and took the lead, but we'll wait and see.
So on air till 4:45 today, whether you're watching us on VFL.com.au, listening on VFL.com.au, or if you're with us on Aussie Digital, hope you're enjoying the coverage. Final term underway between the Blues and the Seagulls, and that ball's not coming out to start this final term as the shadows slowly creep a bit bigger here over Icon Park.
And just for our VFLW fans as well, Hawthorn leading Melbourne Uni by 8 points. Richmond and Casey. Casey kicking away to an 18-point lead over Richmond in the final term. And earlier today, the winners were Carlton defeating Williamstown, and the Western Bulldogs brought up their 5th win in a row, defeating Essendon. They're the VFLW results from earlier today.
That win for Carlton happens right here in the lead up to this game, as a free kick will go Loby's way. And a chip pass okay for Graham in the middle of Icon Park. Graham goes onto the right foot. High ball goes inside 50. And Casbolt just got wedged that time between a couple of Seagulls, and Masters was the man that got back, took the relieving mark for Williamstown. As he looks to use this broadcast side of the ground, went looking for Kempster, slipped through his hands. Hill just tackled, but just measured his ball well. No mark was taken. Graham dropping the mark was Fisher. Graham's high ball. Fawkes might have lost that one somewhere in the sky or the sun. No mark was taken. As the ball spills out here, it's Penrith getting some pressure on Meese. It spills out to Bewley. And then Gibbons went short and wide. That was okay. Norton took the mark and goes over the top. So some tempo footy early here for the Seagulls.
So able to move it along the wing. Gibbons again. Racked up plenty of possessions throughout today's game. He plays on quickly. Chip round the corner, finds the captain in Marcon. Adam Marcon up against his former club, along with Nick Meese today. Finds Fawkes. Fawkes goes long, inside forward 50. Good strong defensive mark taken by O'Shea. O'Shea plays on. Former product of the Northern Blues. Casbolt, strong mark.
He's getting the Bronx cheers at the moment. He's Casbolt.
He is. Belissaris over the top. LeBoy should walk into an open goal, and it puts through his second. Good start to the final term by the Northern Blues, working the ball well up into their forward half. Some strong leading by Casbolt, and the turnover down the other end. And they are 7-3-45. Trailing Williamstown 12-12-84, and we've just gone 3 minutes into the final term here at Icon Park. Anthony Stangett's Adam Sarakoglu and Glenn Hill on the boundary line. Hilly.
Yes, well, that was the goal that Northern Blues needed early in the quarter to give themselves a bit of life. And whilst they're coming from a long way back, they'd like to finish the quarter off strongly and finish the game off strongly. So that's a good sign.
Loby and Meese do battle once more. Meese gets his own clearance, threw it onto the left and went inside 50. Going back, Kempster couldn't quite take the mark. Immediately got pressured by Stavrou. Almost won the ball back, Stavrou as well. Now Marcon's trying to extract it. It's a ball up. About 40 metres out from the Seagulls' goal.
The temperature's just dropped in the shade here, boys. I think we've gone sub 10 now.
Keep working to your left, Hilly, and just keep chasing that sunshine if you want.
I'll end up in the goal square at the way we're going.
Most of the ground will probably be covered in shade by the time this one's over. As the Northern Blues escape defensive 50, we've got a foot race for the ball here. It's between LeBoy and Monk. He did well to get a hand pass out. Jolly backing back and gets his relieving hand pass out. Bit of space here for Bramble to work with. Kick smothered off the boot though by Hill. No shade. He's carried over the line right in front of the gates there for the Seagulls. Rodder sneaks back out onto the ground. Michael Gibbons on the bench at the moment. Gives the ball back to the boundary umpire. You can hear the players communicating, getting ready for this stoppage. The tap from Loby. Bewley brought down by Hill. Umpire crosses his arms. I've been saying that name a lot today in play-by-play. Hilly, Brett Bewley. I reckon he's had a good game.
He certainly has. There's been plenty of winners around the ground for Williamstown. And just on the other front, the Blues, probably the best player has been Josh Hill today.
Well, good tap work that time. Carroll starting that off, the 23rd player. They tried to get it down to Rodder, but good mark by Mason Blakey. Another one of the growing number of former Northern Knights here at the Northern Blues. Ball on the outer side, O'Shea. Just happy to tap it towards the boundary line. Free kick's been given on the outer side. Will be taken by the Blues. They play on quickly, up towards half forward, looking for Kerr at the back, can't take the mark. Here's an opportunity for the Blues now. Centering kick, who can they find? Lobe, one grab, two grab, takes it. And we'll line up from directly in front.
Yeah, this wouldn't be the start that Andy Collins would have envisaged. He was really looking for a strong finish from his lineup here, and they've already given up a goal and potentially two here at the start of the quarter. And give Northern Blues some life.
Well, we know how important percentage is going to be at the end of the year. Williamstown with the the fourth best percentage out of that group of teams. And leading the race was Essendon with 133. And they're a good 18 percentage points behind Essendon on the ladder. And Lobe's put it through for his first of the day. Northern Blues moving on to 8-3-51, still trailing Williamstown to a 12-12-84. And that's going to be crucial for the Seagulls for where they sit on the ladder. Number one, they've still got to get the win, but where they sit on the ladder at the end of the round.
Look, back to 33 points, and there is still some life in this game. The Blues have definitely lifted since I'd say a pretty harsh three-quarter address from Josh Fraser.
We know he's not happy at the moment, Josh Fraser. Back live. And another clearance for the Blues. They go inside 50, but in the right spot was Pickus that time for the Seagulls. And quickly gets it off to Greiser. He's been using it well across half-back today. The kick goes wide. Bounced well for Masters. And the Seagulls maintain possession now. Dorgan gets it to Norton as we go towards half forward. Rodder watched it go over his head. It just bounced into the lap of Lockie Schultz. Wayward handball in board for Kavara. Did well to hold up his opponent with the ball. Now Wilson slams it onto the right foot. Up towards half forward. It's John Luke Valasaris in battle here with Monk. Gets the tackle on him. They are lifting at the moment here, the Northern Blues, just a little bit. It's a ball up.
They are, and they're playing direct footy there. As soon as they got that turnover, they didn't waste time. They kicked that 55 metres straight down the centre of the ground, give themselves an opportunity.
Lobe, the most recent goal kicker in the ruck contest there. Palmer wrapped up by Marcon. Jolly got the ball back out. Now Charleston gives it back to Jolly. Underground ball as he was tackled. Pressure was right in his face that time. Greiser just got his hand pass out in time. Charleston clearing ball out. Rodder didn't take the mark. Hill was there for the Blues. If they get another one, it might be game on. High ball towards the top of the square. Going back, Buckwell did very well. A great contested mark on the last line of defence, and Lane Blackwell will be able to repel this ball back out for the Seagulls. If he wants to, can go by hands and does. Monk, chip over the top. Pickus now has the ball for Williamstown. Down the line for Schultz. Quick hands off to Kavara. From centre wing, Kavara is going to take on Josh Hill here. Takes two bounces. Hill almost got him. Kavara inside 50. Donnell backing back here against Penrith. Bounce was very kind for Donnell. Can he pick it up? No. Tapped it on. Lost his footing. Here's a high snap from Marcon right to the goal line, but the relieving mark was available there for the Blues, and they're out of danger now.
Well, they've got a player loose on the wing. Care of a very good interchange, but just can't look up. Here he is.
Yeah,
he'll get it now.
Boy, he's going to take the mark now, just behind true centre wing. Kim LeBoy up towards half forward. That's a very good mark by Casbolt looking into the sun. No Bronxes that time as he goes inside 50. Not a great ball. That was a hard one for Kerr to navigate. Maybe did lose the ball in the sun that time. It was right in his head, right in his line of sight there as LeBoy centres it in board. And a diving mark has been paid that Glenn Hill does not seem to agree with.
Oh, that hit the turf. That's a poor umpiring decision.
They can use all the help they can get right now to Northern Blues. Alex Federico has it.
That's a very poor umpiring decision. He had no call on that in terms of he couldn't get a good look at that footy. That came straight out of the breadbasket, hit the ground, And the umpires paid the mark. Could not have had a vision of that.
No VAR assistance here. And the kick's no good. It's a minor score. They needed that one. The Blues 8-4-52, playing 12-12-84.
Yeah, it was a let-off because that from that range, that should just about be a certainty.
So Dorgan goes to his left, went to himself, takes 2 bounces. Hand pass goes over the top. They repel 50 by hand here. The Seagulls. Looping handball over the top. Now Jolly has to go back and fetch. Shrugged off one tackler. Ball coughed up. And Jolly ends up with it once more.
Some very worrying signs here for Williamstown. They've stopped running. I think we've
50-metre penalty here.
Let's just count the steps, please, Adam.
John Luke Valasaris just infringed on the mark. So Jolly, I reckon he got that ball probably just inside defensive 50. Which means the mark should probably be set. Yeah, that's about right.
Yep, that was a good one.
Right on centre wing was where the mark was set. Jolly has it.
I might have received some feedback at half-time.
Charleston sends them deep once more. Rodder in battle with O'Shea. Bounce didn't favour him. Loby's having a good second half. Schumacher. Blakey. Back to Schumacher. Now Wilson. He'll go back to Blakey in his own goal square. They're working it by hand, but not really getting it away from where they need to. Finally, the clearing ball back out toward the middle of the ground. Dorgan's back there to sweeper. Jolly, Dorgan. Goes on the left, up towards half forward. A well-weighted ball, that one, and they're now on the just outskirts of scoring range here. Bramble goes wide. Dorgan just beyond 50, left foot. In toward the pocket. Rodder can't take the mark. Who's at ground level? It's Marcon not going anywhere, and a ball up at the tip of the goal square.
It'd be fair to say that Williamstown need one here just to steady, because it has been all Blues this quarter.
Certainly has. Margin cut back to 33 points. Tap down. Mason Loby going head-to-head. Umpire comes in and we'll have another ball up. Every single player in the forward half.
We've just dipped to 7 degrees too, Anthony.
The sunny areas of Icon Park becoming less and less. Good work by Jolly. Got it across to his teammate. Long Rodder! There he is.
He's a star.
3rd or 4th in line. Took the strong mark overhead. Started the year as a defender for the Seagulls. They needed something up forward. A couple of off-season departures, and he's made a big difference to this Williamstown forward line. They can still throw him back when they need. What can he do in the pocket? We've seen a few miss from this pocket.
This is for 5.
2 in the first, 2 in the third, and on the roof, and he's 5th. And puts it through. 13th goal on the board for the for Williamstown, and they move on to 13-12-90 to the Northern Blues 8-3-51.
8-4.
8-4. So one behind off on the scoreboard. 8-4-52 as the scoreboard updates, and it updates both. So back to a 38-point margin in favour of the Seagulls. They are.
Back in the middle. That's a wayward bounce. Umpire just let that one go. It almost escaped the circles, I think. That's the criteria for a recalled bounce. Socket out toward Jolly.
World Cup style there.
Now Gibbons up towards half forward. Rodder takes a good mark. Nice little bag today for Nick Rodder. Too far out this time though. As he slams it onto the right boot toward the top of the square. Bramble tried to come in late. No mark taken. Here's a chance at the goal line. It's Norton that finishes. Back-to-back goals for the Seagulls. It's over now. 14-12-96 to 8-4-52.
Yeah, any life that was left in the Blues has just been sucked out in the last 60 seconds. Williamstown just pushed forward hard then and got a lot of numbers around the ball, and when that came to ground, all you could see was Seagulls pouring into the goal square.
Safe guess that we're probably going to hear from Nick Rodder post-game, Hilly.
I had him penciled in probably early in the third.
Yep. Not surprised at all by that.
Outstanding, and I think he deserves some airtime because he has had an outstanding season, and seeing some really good footy out of him, and it's almost Mitch Hannon-esque when Mitch Hannon hit the scene 2 years ago for Footscray.
They're starting to dominate now, the Seagulls. Gibbons goes short, finds Bewley. Right behind the centre circle, goes up towards half forward. Now Donnell takes the mark. Jolly's on the lead here, just got a bit of a jump there on McCabe, but that gets ignored. Donnell holds on to the ball for the time being. He's thinking about a shot. Man on the mark's right on the digits. That's Josh Hill. Donnell's going to load up. Now finally pokes it toward the goal square. Bewley was the man that went up, and Schumacher forces it out of play. A boundary throw in next to the behind post.
That's a set play from Williamstown. I'm surprised the Blues weren't up for that one. They utilised that 2 weeks ago on numerous occasions against Collingwood, and they use that most occasions when they can't get the distance from 55.
So a high ball. Greiser was underneath it. Turnover. It's Monk that sends him inside 50. Schultz put his man down. That'll be a free kick to the Blues.
Just a Blues player down in the centre. Just can't get a look at who it is at the moment. He's just getting to his feet.
Ethan Penrith, that is, limping. One of the VFL listed players. So Blakey's being asked to hurry up here. He had nothing to go to. A high kick now. Penrith was in that region. That's where the trainers would. I had to quickly escape the situation. Meese got brought down by LeBoy. Now Casbolt with a good tackle. That forces a stoppage on centre wing.
How have you seen Levi's game today, Adam?
Presented a couple of times, but not exactly where the Blues faithful probably want him to. I don't think he's had an impactful game.
He's had a disappointing game.
Certainly lacking impact. Wilson. Now it's Meese getting it. Greiser sends a wide ball. Running nicely is Dorgan. Here's your man Rodder. Doesn't quite get there that time.
Oh.
Stop cheering, Hilly.
Oh,
Donnell watches it go out of play.
I'm cheering now. Look, Nick Meese has just come off the ground, and I think it might.
Does he need a bucket?
I think it might be a slight niggle too. He's
He's
definitely not moving too well.
He looked like from here that he needed a bucket.
He's definitely not moving too well. He has waved the trainer away as he probably always do. He's just that tough.
Well, it's Rodder doing the ruck work there. Kavara tried to come crashing through. It goes out of play.
I wonder whether there's a bit of a cramp in his hamstring, because he did reach for his right hamstring.
He's currently walking it off.
It is quite cold down on ground level, and
as you keep reminding us.
And when it does get cold, the hamstrings are the first things to give way.
So right now it's a 44-point ball game. It was 45 at halftime in favour of Williamstown. Stavrou got involved again. Ball spills out of play though. Fisher not much of a chance to regain possession. About 60 out from the Seagulls goal. They're looking at their 8th win of the season. We'll see as the other results come in from around the grounds if they can improve on their 7th place on the ladder. We'll hopefully have time to bring you the updated ladders at the end of the broadcast today as Gibbons goes inside 50. Donnell, hand pass off, Schneering. Donnell can have a shot on goal. Right foot on the way, getting a hand on it. Right on the line, that Blues defender, so it's a minor score. That Blues defender was O'Shea.
Sam Donnell probably just chipped that one away. A bit more golf-esque there. It was looked like about a pitching wedge.
14.
Kicking through the footy.
Sorry, Hilly. 14-13-97 to 8-4-52. Ball's in the middle of the ground. Hill has to escape some pressure. Hand pass off, and now a left foot ball goes inside 50. It's bouncing toward the goal square. John Luke Valasaris claimed as soon as he got the ball. At the corner of the goal square, we have a ball up. Some run-throughs in front of you, Hilly, for a Blues player.
Yeah, it's Ethan Penrith. It's just, as we saw come off the ground just before, he's had his upper left leg strapped. Looks mainly around the quad area, and he doesn't have a great movement at the moment, so I'd say he'd be doubtful to be back out there just at the moment.
So we're inside the final term here. Hill gets the ball back, and we get the ball toward half forward now, but in the right spot. Bewley again. Having a very, very good game today, Bewley, and he goes short to Jolly.
Jolly will set up the play from half back. Goes backwards to Bewley. Creates the option further afield. Well, they go back to Jolly now. Will need to be a short kick. No, he goes for the longer option. 2-on-1 contest. Oh, great work. Donnell, they get it over the top. Schultz, inside forward, 50, Kavara.
Really good footy there.
Perfectly moving it down the field. They just settled at half back. Probably thought they were holding on to it maybe a bit too long. But then they pulled the trigger. They get it down to Ben Kavara, who's hoping to add his third of the afternoon. And Sam Donnell, I reckon if he's not amongst the better players at the end of today's game, there's something wrong.
If he hadn't have kicked 5, if he kicked 5, he may have been best on ground.
Might have been up there with your mate, Rodder.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's had an outstanding game, and yeah, certainly in the best 2 or 3 players on the ground.
So from the kick in, they bring the ball down the ground. McCabe finds Lobe. Will he go over the top to Penrith? No, goes inside forward 50. Couldn't find his target on that occasion, who was Naylor. Seagulls again go out wide. Here they go from half back. Pickus. Free kick's been found. It was
free kick to Ben Jolly. Yeah, he just was big sling tackle after he got rid of the footy there.
Feeling it. Old man Jolly.
It's a heavy tackle.
Still as sprightly as ever. As he finds Masters at half-back. Folks had a good sweeping roll across the half-back line today. Peter Folks giving them another option. As not good there for Dorgan. Keep an eye on that. He's in a lot of pain. Just the step that he took after he dropped the mark. And he is in a lot of pain behind the scenes. Keep an eye on that one. Down to ground level. Federico round the corner. Heads towards the boundary line and out of bounds.
He's still down. I know it's well away from the play, but
he's had Adam Markhorn actually come and just check on him.
No,
yeah.
It seems like he's okay in terms of it's not
he's
up majorly serious.
He's up on his
injury.
feet, still limping, struggling to move, but the good news is he's up on his feet under his own power.
So heading towards the boundary line. He is in the background. His play still in the forward pocket. Empire's found a free kick. Will go the way of Nick Graham. Graham 1 goal so far today in the second term. See whether he can add a second goal.
Nick's been serviceable today for the Blues. I mean, they're very undermanned, this team. Just haven't got the Carlton full artillery of Carlton listed players. But look, he's been serviceable today. Again, he always tries hard and runs hard.
Coburg in the final term, still up by, what are we talking now, 41 points as Graham's put it through the middle, added his second. So 9th goal on the board for the Northern Blues. They move on to 9-4-58. Am I right there, Adam? That's good. 14-14-98. The scoreline for Williamstown.
We have our first final score of the day from Box Hill City Oval.
Well, Box Hill powering away in the final term. 15-21-10 have defeated Port Melbourne 10-7-67. So,
and for the moment on the live ladder, Box Hill inside the top 4.
Yeah, Essendon's lost yesterday, opening the door for a couple of teams to potentially head in there. So the other team, Williamstown, their percentage will be less than Box Hill's at the end of the day. but a potential to head up into 5th position. Crunching tackle. Umpire didn't agree, Hilly.
That looked high.
And we'll see a ball up. 35 metres out from the Northern Blues goal. It's been the scoring end in today's game. Williamstown scoring the better against to the other end, to the club room's end of the ground. Bit of stretching for Tommy Wilson there on the bench as well. Just having a chat to the trainers.
He's just come off. Just doing a little jog through at the moment.
So, Folks at the back. Good work by Masters, who's drifted into the back line in this final term. Ball Pickus on the outer side. They're trying to keep possession. They go backwards to go forwards. Marcon just sizing up the option. Turnover, Blues, inside forward 50, 2-on-1 contest. And the free kick's going to go to Kerr. And
I don't think he can get to his feet here. It's taking a long time.
There's a few players struggling in this final term, Hilly.
We're just about to click over 27 minutes, and I think the players would be happy if it stayed sub 30 at the moment. The game's done and dusted, and just the last couple of minutes, there's been some heavy hits and some sore bodies. It's very cold at ground level, and when you get hit hard at ground level when it's cold, you certainly feel every ounce of it.
Correct. A few of the other teams continuing their third quarter dominance into the final term. As Kerr drifts it across through for another behind. They move on to 9-5-59 to 14-14-98. Geelong leading by 21 points over Sandringham halfway through the final term. Casey leading by 20 points nearing time on in the final quarter. And it is Coburg charging to their first win of the season. They got half a taste of it last week. They liked it so much they've continued on with a dominant first term. 5-0 in the first quarter. And they're up by 40 points in time on in the final term up against Frankston. So it'll be a well-deserved win for the Lions at the end of round 15 of Peter Jackson VFL action.
Sorry, Hilly.
Oh, look, it's great for Coburg. They really deserve and needed that first win of the season and just get that monkey off the back. And having spoken to Lee Adams a few times this year, you know, he'd be just so pleased for his team. He knows he's got a young group and they're just developing, but that's sensational news for the club.
Probably the story of the day there in the Peter Jackson VFL. We no longer have any winless teams in the competition. As we see a ball up inside the centre square. Just counting down to Glen Hill's one-on-one with Nick Rodder, which we're very much looking forward to. He's kick 5 for today. O'Shea gets it back to Blakey. Pressure on him from Kavara. Don't know how he disposed of that one. Umpire did, and that's all that matters. Stavrou, high towards half forward. Bouncing ball here for Tippett to track back, although Fawkes might get in his way. They did collide. Jolly, standing start, kick smothered there by Kerr. And pass just a bit wayward for the 23rd man in Naylor. Fawkes, and now a shot on goal on the siren. Won't register a score. That's it. This one's over. 9-5-59. The Blues defeated by Williamstown 14-14. 98 will catch a bit of the song before Healy goes down and catches up with Nick Rodder. Your 9-point winners today, the Seagulls, they get their 8th win of the season, which should see them move to 5th on the ladder based on what else is happening around the grounds. Box Hill's big win also puts them inside the top 4. Hilly.
Sorry to cut in, Adam. You're just joined by Sam Donnell. Went for Nick Rodder. He didn't want to talk today.
Oh, no.
Maybe a little bit new to him. He had a great game today. How would you describe it?
Yeah, he was outstanding. He's our poster boy at the moment as he walks past. Well done, Nicky. Yeah, he's come across from WA. I think VFL footy really suits him, and yeah, it's great that he's got kicking a couple of goals. I don't know if he kicked 4 or 5 today, so it's.
Yeah, he kicked 5 today, and you guys formed a great tandem up forward, and you got plenty of hands on the footy yourself. Yeah,
it was good. I mean, I like playing out here. It's a nice big ground, so it's a nice sort of refreshing, especially on a day like today. It was outstanding. So yeah, it's always nice to get a good day in July. So it was nice to get my hands on a couple.
Beautiful, Sam. Also, we'll walk over as we're going, but your pressure in the forward line was outstanding from the whole group. You guys set yourselves after that loss to Port Melbourne last week to have a big impact in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a real benchmark of our game. If we can lock the footy inside forward 50 and get those repeat stoppages, I think our mature bodies, our midfielders really like to go to work inside forward 50. So that was a big target for us today, and I think the first quarter was really good in that regard. And we've got to keep bringing that each week as it gets to final. So hopefully we do so.
You must be pleased with the run and carry out of the midfield as well, providing that service for you guys up forward. It's been really hot probably for about 6 or 7 weeks now. You seem to make a bit of a change maybe about 6 weeks into the season, and you've really turned your form around.
Yeah, we have. We started a little bit slow, but yeah, we're starting to gel as a group. We've had a lot of change from last year, so it takes a bit of time to get used to how each guy's play and the rest. But yeah, I think we're starting to gel well, and hopefully we can push towards a top 4 berth.
Well, you're certainly playing good football. Thanks again for your time on VFL Live, Sam, and good luck for the remainder of the season. I'm sure we'll see you in the finals at some stage.
Beautiful. No dramas. Thanks.
Thank you, Hilly, and thank you for your contributions to today's coverage. We'll see you next week, Hilly.
I think you got
Richmond.
Stoney next week at Sandringham, and I'll be on the week after.
All right, we thank you. We've got to let you go because we are only a minute away from going off air here. All game